Hey listeners, quick little preface to today's episode. We recorded this a few weeks ago before the passing of Treat Williams. He recently died in a motorcycle accident at 71. We didn't have anything negative to say about him in this episode. He is absolutely wonderful, but we did want to mention it ahead of time because we don't mention it during the episode, and just throw out a little rest in pictures for him. So remember to check out some Treat Williams movies, and remember a pretty awesome character actor. Enjoy the episode. Thank you. For those who came in late, I'm Derrick.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Jack.
And this is Bad Movies,
Worst People.
The year is either 1938 or 1995. This 1995's The Phantom. That's what we're talking about today. For Superhero Spectacular.
Spectacular.
I love this fucking movie. I've said it before, so I'm just going to say it right now. Like I've said it on previous episodes.
Yeah.
I love this movie.
I've heard you talk about it.
I haven't seen it in probably at least 20 years.
Same.
This is
love
probably my second time seeing the full movie through. Because I think, TBS might have played this a lot.
Yeah.
And I caught it until a guy with ADD like me, you watch it until a commercial, and then you find Forrest Gump is on.
Yeah.
And you watch that till a commercial.
I'm watching 4 movies.
You know what, though? I kept them all straight in the
And then
plots.
once all the commercials sync up, that's when you just leave.
Phantom
Right?
is the one where Billy Zane runs across America, right? Am I wrong?
He starts a shrimping company.
I got about 12 Jennays.
Yes, this movie is directed by Sam Wincer. All right, a treat for everybody here. Never heard of this
Not
guy.
a household name to me.
His movie is not as exciting as the guy who wrote, but he directed Quigley Down Under,
Ooh, love
Oh.
it.
Harley Davidson, The Marlboro Man.
Yeah. Ooh, I think that's a Don't Touch the Dial.
Oh, yeah. I've never even seen it. I told you. I saw the poster image, and I was like, I want to watch that.
Yep.
Operation Dumbo Drop.
Oh.
A guilty pleasure of mine. Ray Liotta, Danny
Yeah.
Glover.
I freaking love me some
A
Ray
whole
Liotta.
bunch
Dougie
of...
Doug,
He did a whole
Dennis
bunch
Leary.
of The Adventures of Young Indiana Jones.
Okay. Is that who's the actor there?
I can't remember.
It wasn't
Chris Pratt?
the dead kid, is
I
it?
think it's the dead kid.
River Phoenix?
No.
No,
I
River
think it's-
Phoenix
Oh.
plays him in the flashback in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Oh.
No, what's
okay.
the kid from like Ladybugs and
The guy that killed himself, Landon.
he was in like Neverending Story 2.
Wait, that's not the kid from Sidekicks.
It is the
we're
kid.
talking about.
No, we're
Jonathan
not.
Brand-
We're combining.
Okay, well, that's the guy who killed himself too, who was a
Brandon?
child actor. Jonathan Branson or something?
Yeah, I think that's who I'm thinking of.
He was in Sequest. He was in Ladybugs. He was in Sidekicks. He's not with us
by the
anymore.
way, Sidekicks is coming up
Dude, that's a weird movie.
August.
I
It's
don't
gonna
think
be
I've
one. It's
seen
gonna
it.
be part of our back to school special with all kids
All right,
movies.
get ready.
Okay.
Chuck Norris and Jonathan Brandis. That's
Jonathan
what it is,
Brandis, yeah.
yes. It's awesome.
I had
Directed
the-
by Aaron Norris.
I had the
Guess
biggest
who that
crush
is?
on that kid.
Oh,
Ugh.
I looked it up. It's his brother.
Yeah, who directed a lot of his movies.
Yes, he did.
Whose brother? What?
Chuck Norris has a less hairy, less sexy brother that directs a lot of Chuck Norris's movies.
Was it like keeping in the family kind of deal? Or
I think it's.
Yeah.
I think it's like a.
It's a package
I
deal.
know what Carlos wants, and he lets me direct.
all right.
I say that because I watched special features on Sidekicks, and he kept saying Carlos, and he's like, "That's Chuck's real name." Like he kept because he's just saying his brother's fucking name.
Carlos Norris.
Yeah.
Not the ring I want.
Yeah,
No.
I don't think a ginger Carlos would have been famous in the late '80s.
No.
Now though.
Oh yeah, now. But anyway, that's not this movie. He also directed Crocodile Dundee, Back to Los Angeles, or whatever the
That's
fuck
the
it was
third
called.
one.
Yeah, the third one, and the one I saved for last because I was like, "What the fuck is Free Willy?"
Oh man.
This guy made Free Willy, so he loved making movies with kids. Free Willy,
well, and Paul Hogan.
Young Indiana Jones.
Isn't Paul
Hogan's a
Hogan
child.
in Free Willy?
Is he?
I don't think so.
Thought so.
I don't know.
I gotta watch that movie.
I haven't seen Free Willy since my age had one digit.
I want to say
Well said. Well said.
I want to say Zoe watched that.
I remember it. It was like the pointing at the whale.
she
and
was
he
a
jumps
single,
over,
yeah.
and
When
then
she
the
was a
whale
single
crushes the
with it.
kid. Oh no, that's.
That's just your dreams.
I think it was a Family Guy.
Oh,
bit.
it's not him at all. I don't know what I'm thinking of. Is there Free Willy 2 or 3? There is, but he's not in any of them.
Mr. Mom?
No.
Was he in Flipper?
You're thinking, first of all, you're thinking of Mr. Nanny.
Yes, that's right.
With
Mr. Mom was my
Terry
dad.
Hulk Hogan. Paul
Oh,
Hogan
Paul
is
Hogan.
the Crocodile Dundee.
That's right. Sorry. I'm
The better of the Hogan.
And Mr. Mom is a delightful movie with Michael Keaton.
I told you that one of these
That's my
movies was
dad.
the one I had bought a ticket to, like because
Yeah.
I had given this director money. It was Crocodile Dundee 3.
Oh, yeah.
My friends and I went to theater. My friend's mom dropped us off. We were getting tickets for Crocodile Dundee 3, Los Angeles, whatever. And we went and saw Freddy Got Fingered instead.
Daddy, would you like some sausage?
Yes.
My hooves. Listen to my hooves.
And the writer, Jeffrey Boehm, who wrote all kinds of shit. This was what I was impressed with. Dead Zone.
Okay.
Like Christopher Walken and whatnot.
Oh,
the movie, not
pleasure
the
to
show.
be here.
Inner Space.
I love
the
Inner
Dennis-
Space.
The Martin Short, Dennis Quaid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Lost Boys.
Excellent.
Funny Farm.
Ooh, Jenny
Indiana
Shade.
Jones and the Last Crusade.
All right.
Lethal Weapon 2 and 3. And he's the creator and like showrunner for Briscoe County Jr.
Okay.
This
This
guy
is
is
a
awesome.
pedigree,
Wow.
at least for people like us.
Yeah, that's true. I'm sitting here going, who is not impressed by this?
Maybe, films of classic cinema.
I mean, I feel like if you
Films
listen,
fans.
I feel like if you listen to this, then you're probably impressed.
Oh, I'm guessing so. I'm guessing at least half of those movies resonated
least Ryan
with
would be,
you.
right?
I would say,
Yeah.
or you're one of the people we know who listens who's younger than us and is like, I've never heard any of that.
I mean, if you don't know the Lethal Weapons.
Well, that everybody should know Lethal Weapon.
I had them
If you
playing
don't know
at
Lethal
work.
Weapon,
2 is the better of them. Of the, there's 4, I think.
4,
2
yeah.
is the best of them.
yeah, it's better than it's better than one.
Diplomatic community.
And that's why my entire life I thought that was really real. I mean, it's kind of real, but I don't think it's as real as it is in that movie.
It's not boding well that we haven't talked about Phantom much more than the Phantom.
That's fine. So, yes, I started with, for those who came in late,
Because
That's how the movie starts.
That's how we got it.
as if we're coming in halfway through a movie. They're like, hey, in case you missed it, here's the beginning of the movie.
Let me catch you up, son. That's just in. It's about, see?
I will say this movie gets it right. Okay, so first we have this kid getting his family gets captured by pirates. We
Oh, no,
end up
they don't
finding
get
out-
captured.
They get
They get
murdered.
killed.
They get slaughtered.
Yeah, he gets away. He don't think he gets like washed away.
He jumps overboard and
Yeah.
swims ashore like a strong little 8-year-old could.
And we end up finding out, spoilers, this was 400 years ago.
Yeah.
And this kid became the first Phantom. These tribesmen of I don't remember the name. The jungle was like the Bengali jungle. I can't remember
Yeah.
what they said the tribe was.
It barely matters because it looks like
It was
a
that one
very
time.
bunch of mixed race actors. Like you have Japanese, Chinese, Vietnamese. Look at these, and they're all trying to play the same Bengali
Yeah.
tribemen.
Yeah,
that's fine.
and they're all dressed like an African tribesman kind of thing, which is it's just a very bizarre mix.
And they-
1995. It's
a weird death
racism.
cult.
You know.
But they do this like ancient tribal tradition.
Yeah, and they give this kid a ring because it's that classic Hollywood white savior. They're like, somebody came along who's gonna help us and save us from pirates. It's got to be this white
It's
kid.
this white kid that washed ashore.
Couldn't be any of our people.
And they give him the one ring to rule them all.
Yeah. And it like glows, the eyes glow into his eyes. So he gets like some special power where he can see dead people.
But really, the Phantom has no, outside of that, actually, I didn't think about, outside of seeing dead, apparently just your father,
Yeah.
there's no superpowers to this guy, which I can appreciate. I mean,
Maybe
we're talking
it's
about
like a Force Ghost
1936. It could be. No one else sees him.
Just
so.
the one who just like
Oh yeah,
the
your
one
predecessor.
before you is your Force Ghost.
Oh,
which
we do
just
get a
happens
line
to
at
be
the
your
end, like
dad.
maybe then I can rest.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're onto something.
He's got to talk to his dad till he starts fucking.
Oh God, I lost my virginity way earlier. But it's just, I can respect the fact that this guy has no superpowers.
Yeah.
He's fit. He's got guns.
super fit. And he's good
a
with guns.
Purple Batman.
He's a purple
Oh.
Batman without any gadgets, though.
True. He only has that really.
He's got a utility belt with no utility.
Yeah.
He's got a spiffy belt and some guns.
But fast moves.
I'm glad you called it a spiffy belt because it's like 38. Hey, that belt's looking real spiffy there, Derrick.
He's
He's
got
a
a
sharp
super
dressed
horse.
fella. He's got a super. Did you catch the horse's name in the movie? Because I didn't.
I didn't.
No.
I know
That's
the
Hero.
dog's name is Devil.
Is it Hero?
Hero's the horse. Just in the comics, the horse's
okay.
name is Hero, but it doesn't say it. And the dog's name is Devil. Good looking little dog. It's the goodest boy.
He's a goodest boy. He's a wolf.
So what I was going to say right was before the introduction, though, I think this movie gets it right. So there's no
What does it get right? I'm not
the
arguing.
superhero thing and the pacing, because there's no like tortured hero stuff like you always have to see now.
Okay.
There's no like I was listening like at the end when he's talking about how his father and his father's father and blah blah blah. If it was made right now, it would be like, well, this power was passed on to me, but I don't want to do it. I want to live my own life. And the whole movie is
Right.
about him finding himself and realizing that he needs to be this hero. And
I'll agree with you on the pacing. I mean, there wasn't
no, it
really
was
that
great.
down time where like the hero moment where our hero has to learn his lesson. He can't go any further at the iteration of himself that he is. This was just like he's getting it done.
He is, and he's getting it done fast.
apparently they shot a bunch more like relationship development between him and Diana Palmer. Like a bunch more scenes of like with them falling in love and like stuff, whatever. And then the director here just cut it because he wanted to pick up the pace.
Well, I appreciate it.
Hour
then.
40.
I 100%.
Perfect.
Is that what it came in
Yeah.
hour 40? That's not bad. It didn't feel too long.
It didn't have that forced love like you.
Well, and if it
that
did
trope.
have forced love, at least they met in college. Spoilers
Yes,
for anyone
they had
that hasn't
previously had a
watched.
relationship. She was pissed at him. Like, that whole line about like, yeah, I thought about you, and then I moved the fuck on.
Yeah,
I thought
loved
about
that.
you. I stopped, and then I got on with my life. Get it, girl.
And then that's the whole speed thing. I mean, they fell in love pretty quick too. But nothing's gonna. What is it? Relationship won't last. That happens during a traumatic.
We have
event
to
or
base it
whatever.
on just pure sex. Okay, Sandy B.
And that's exactly this. He's saving
This
her
chick
life
that you
and-
mentioned, named Diana
Palmer.
Diana Palmer is the
I keep wanting to say
character.
Diana Prince, but that's
I would see. I just think of Palmer Industries.
okay.
I'm like, is she like the great aunt of Aunt Adam?
I was gonna say he's not the Ant Man, but great aunt would have been a nice.
Is she the great Ant Man?
No, it was Adam.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the Atom because it's DC.
It's
But so
But
she
the
shows
actress-
up. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say real quick. The actress was Christy Swanson, who
Yeah, it
played
is.
Buffy in the movie, the original Buffy, not the Sarah Michelle Gellar.
You know,
Buffy.
sometimes you watch a period piece and it's like, man, that face does not work with this era.
It
Hers is
did.
great. Hers,
Yeah.
she's with the hair that they have her in, the outfits, she fits right in 1938, in my opinion.
And then
Yeah.
of course you have our fabulous Billy Zane.
Well, god damn, this man's fabulous.
Oh my God, he's
Yeah,
gorgeous.
he's gorgeous.
This is the height of Billy Zane. I don't think he's ever had a downtime, but this is him, like the height of hair and his beautiful cheeks.
Those lips.
I'll let
I
you
could
decide
just-
which cheeks.
So I'm trying to figure out. So we know we talked about earlier how Billy Zane is bald.
Yeah.
because of some kind of genetic thing, and he's embraced it. In all
Very
of his
open
movies
about it.
since then. Yeah, but according to something I was reading, he wasn't bald yet. Like this is because I just right before we recorded, I read a bit of trivia where it said that he had to shave his head to fit in the Phantom suit because his hair wouldn't fit in there.
Mm-hmm.
So any scene where he has the hair, including when he takes his cowl off at the end, were shot first. And then he shaved his head and
So
put the
that
mask
was his
on.
real hair.
So that was his real hair.
So that's why I thought it had great wig work.
Yeah, we thought because we all thought he was bald.
Well, I was like, who
He's bald.
does-
I'm fairly certain he's bald in Titanic when they put a wig
No,
on.
it's
That was
the
my next
same-
question.
It looks like the same fucking hair though.
I swear that's where I heard it though. Was that he was because Demon Knight he's bald, and that's the same year as this.
so
So maybe
Maybe
this
he
is a
was-
wig,
He
and that
shaved-
trivia is
so
just
this-
it's IMDb trivia. I mean,
so
Oh, so we could enter
what
that.
I'm saying
Yeah.
is it was probably shot after this, and because he had already shaved his head.
Demon
to-
Knight being what you're talking about?
Yeah, Demon Knight had to have been shot after this.
but
because he had
I
already
listened
shaved his
to, or I
head.
think it was maybe it was a special feature on the Demon Knight Blu-ray where they were talking about it, and they like. There was like some of the studio people didn't want them. They wanted him in a wig because they didn't want him to be bald, and he was like, "No, this is what I look like. This is how I'm going to make this movie." Take it or
Kind of
leave it.
since then, he just been bald
He's
since.
owned it.
Yeah, he looks good bald too.
He does.
He
He's
looks
got
like a
great,
supervillain, but
great
he looks
shape
good.
for the head.
He's
oh,
even
give me
sexier.
him as Lex Luthor. Fucking hell.
We just want him in a DC movie.
Yeah,
is
I
that
want
what you-
him apparently in a DC movie.
Yeah, I just
James Gunn. Just everyone get out James Gunn.
And we're talking about how sexy the man is, right?
Yes.
So apparently he was pumping iron, working out for like a year before this
shows.
movie. And they had made like a fake muscle Batman type suit for him. But by the time they went to film, they were like, yeah, we don't need that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just make the spandex tighter.
So this
He
is
did
this
his
is
job.
Billy Zane. Like this is Billy Zane.
Billy
naked,
Zane's
basically.
veins.
They
These
definitely
are Zane's veins.
They definitely put some padding on the crotchal area though.
Oh, they had to keep that tiger in check.
Yeah, they did.
Well, I mean, he's running around with Christy Swanson and fucking Catherine Zeta-Jones. 1995.
Keeping it tweet.
Yeah.
Super toy.
She looks basically the exact same now, but
Yeah. 'Cause
1995.
she's feeding off of Michael Douglas.
Is she a succubus? Is she part of my clan?
Yep.
Yeah.
She's one of
you.
you.
Didn't recognize? You didn't see the spiderweb tattoo?
It's a scorpion. Thank you.
So anyway, at the beginning of this movie, James Remar is driving through the jungle. James Remar is awesome.
James Remar, love that. I forget. Like I said, this is like I haven't seen this in full. I forgot I forgot everybody was in this movie except Billy Zane. That was
Yes.
the one that I knew was in this fucking movie. And yeah, sure as shit, we got James Remar driving a truck, just being a sauce boss.
So he's running through the jungle. Remar through the jungle.
Remar through the jungle.
And basically it doesn't matter. They're going through the jungle. They're trying to find this bridge because he's got a map. He's looking at it upside down. What a dumb. Still found where he was going pretty quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like, well, also, this jungle has a lot of really well-maintained roads.
Yeah.
I don't think I need a map unless there's a fork in the fucking road. I
didn't appear
I'll
to
just
be.
follow this track here.
I mean, there was definitely a part where they built in a place to do a 3-point turn. So
No, there was like just a definite U-turn or a circle. What are those? The driving circle.
Yeah.
and
It's a
roundabout.
It's a roundabout. Thank you. It's a fucking roundabout in this jungle.
Oh, and I want to mention Remar is playing a character named Quill,
Oh yeah, which
who works for his boss, Xander Drax.
Drax
So we have
and
Quill and Drax.
And that's why I was thinking of Palmer Industries.
Different company.
We got. Hey, this is a
I
crossover,
don't
baby.
care.
This is a crossover.
But Xander Drax, which is almost a palindrome, but
Almost.
it's an N.
I just love that they spell out this guy's a bad guy with X's beginning, an X beginning, and an X ending his
Yeah,
name. Like,
which he points out at the end.
I know. I'm so glad somebody did. 'Cause I'm like the whole time I'm thinking, I'm like, Xander Drax is just such an evil name. You can't be anything but.
My first thought, I was like, Xander Drax, so obviously bad because XX.
Yep.
And it was a little too early. If it had been 99, then he would just be the cool guy.
What do you think his middle
That's the
name
X
is? Like
Games X.
Xavier. So he's triple X. Oh
It's
my
just
God.
X.
Is he the beginning of? Is this Vin Diesel's grandfather?
Could be. But
Or
also,
is it Ice
he
Cube's
is here for
grandfather?
that fucking paycheck.
Or Ice Cube? Yeah. Oh no, he's not just here for a paycheck. In my
He is,
opinion.
like,
Tell me
in
the
it.
actor's name.
Treat Williams.
Treat Williams is a snack.
Yes.
This guy,
He's a fucking treat in this movie.
he is
chewing on everything.
He
but-
gets it.
Yeah.
He gets it. He knows he's in a comic book movie. I made the mistake of thinking this was a radio show.
Yeah.
Because it feels
It-
like
it has
it.
that
It has the 30s serial.
Phantom with his trusty horse hero.
It's got the serial vibe, but with it being 1936 comic
That would
book,
make
Yeah.
sense.
that's like a pulp comic. That's the same thing. That's where the radio and the all that stuff came together. Was that pulpy kind of thing?
and Treat Williams, thank you for this performance. Because
Here's
it's not
to
a
you.
stale movie or anything. Golf clap. But it's not, he's just, if he's in the scene, you're watching him.
Yeah.
You're listening
you can't
to
not
him.
watch that pearly white grin and
I mean,
And again, back to this guy looks the fucking period.
yes.
For sure. You buy that haircut, you buy that mustache, you buy that cheesy smile that you know is trying to sell you something.
all the way up to the moment of his death, he is just giving everything he's got to this role.
Oh, even his death. We'll get there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Literally, the moment of his death. The only time he stops giving it his all is when he turns into a cloud of fire.
When he's gone.
So anyway, they're trying to get across this rope bridge. I only
Oh,
want
yeah.
to mention it because I was like, is this rope bridge the same rope bridge from every movie?
Yeah.
Like, is there a set somewhere that's
Kind of
just a
looks like
rope
it.
bridge?
I mean,
and then
this-
they could just insert a different matte painting behind it.
In
Although
the
it's always a
90s, you
jungle,
betcha.
I
Because
mean-
there's so many rope bridges in 80s and 90s movies.
Oh, this poor
But this
rope bridge is
bridge
out
was
of work
pretty-
now with CGI.
Oh yeah. But this bridge is pretty like full, like boarded across the base. Like you have
You're not
full
missing
platform.
planks.
Yeah.
I get you saying.
Well,
Yeah,
you know, they go in there like, how dangerous you want this bridge to be? All right, we'll take out a few planks, turn that one diagonal, we're good to go.
Exactly. So I think it could possibly be. He
It
said
just
this
looks
is,
exactly like every rope bridge.
it's
Yeah,
probably
for
every
sure.
rope bridge in Paramount.
Yeah.
Oh, that's yeah,
it's
big
rope
fact
bridge. It's
there.
Paramount's rope bridge set.
Yep. Bring out the rope bridge.
Rope bridge.
We got one.
But no, like what you were saying, I think that whoever did the casting for this movie 100% did a fantastic job
Yeah.
getting that look, that grace, if you will.
Charm.
Yeah. Like,
Everybody here, for the most part, I'm sure there's somebody in the background that's not doing it, but all the main people here know what they're doing and they know what they're trying to make.
Yeah.
Which kind of surprised me. This movie's a flop. I just don't think America was ready for
was ready.
this.
No, they wanted it. It came out.
You're trying to
around
captivate
Batman.
a new audience
Yeah.
that never read The Phantom with old stuff that appeals to the people that aren't going to watch your movie.
Yeah, and
I
think that's the idea is they're trying to cash in on like the post Batman era. It's a little later because Batman Returns
91?
was 92.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
So I mean,
first Batman's what, 88,
89.
89. So yeah.
Yeah.
This probably got started drafting up as soon as Batman,
Yeah.
the original, the Tim Burton Batman did well. It's like, all right, who else we got in the tanks?
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about movies that haven't done well on here, you know, and like a lot of times we don't know the budget for a lot of these little like real small movies like Miami Connection and stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
that was like $1 million or whatever.
But this was a big
$45 million budget.
95.
Opening
Wow.
weekend, $5 million.
Yikes.
No.
Worldwide gross, 17,323,000.
Ouch.
326.
Man, you think people would just watch this and just turn the sound off and watch Billy Zane smile?
Yeah,
I
I
know,
don't
right?
understand like $30 million loss, and the budget doesn't usually include
Advertising
marketing and stuff. Yeah, which maybe they didn't market. Maybe that's the problem. I don't know. To me, I was like, everybody knows this fucking movie. But like I said, you said it was on TBS or TNT. One of those.
Yeah.
My mom used to like on Saturdays. She would do stuff around the house, clean the house, do laundry, shit like that. She always had movies on, and this was one of the ones that was on all the time.
Yep.
This Kickboxer.
Oh yeah.
All movies with sexy men, and I was like, but we didn't own these. These were just on TV, and I was like, I guess they just know, like, hey, who's home in the middle of the afternoon
Yeah.
watching these
You want some buns?
TNT movies?
Right?
I got some Van Damme doing splits for you. I got some Billy Zane shirtless for you.
Well, the thing
Yes,
for most
we
of it,
do.
especially Van Damme, is like it works for both. So if the husband's there, he's like, yeah, I'll watch this guy kick the shit
What
out
are
of
you
some
watching?
people.
Some sissy shit? No, it's fucking Van Damme doing the splits, punching the dude in the nuts.
Yeah.
I'll watch it with you, baby.
But yeah, that's a devastating failure.
Surprising.
I wonder if they would do it again, if it would have a better turnout. But so
you can just
what I
say
was-
when they do it again.
What
They
I
did
was-
do it again.
hold that thought. What I was thinking is because they were doing it post Batman with Keaton,
Okay.
Batman, my dad. Maybe it didn't go so well because he didn't have all the gadgets. He only had his belt with the 2 guns.
His action is less boring, or is more boring. His action
Yeah.
is more boring than Batman with the gadgets. That's
I think
Gonna
that had
happen.
something to do with it.
It might have been. It might have been because everybody, even with Batman, that being like, I think Batman's like big point for like American culture when it became like an icon thing, being the Tim Burton Batman. They had the TV show and stuff. It was in the zeitgeist.
yeah.
Whereas
Also,
the Phantom isn't in the zeitgeist, even though
You
it's been
can't-
around for 100
Also,
years.
what is that word you were saying?
Zeitgeist.
Zeitgeist?
It's
Yeah.
like the thumbprint of society.
Literally never heard that word in my life.
No, it's, like the collective.
The
And I'm
collective
married to this
culture. Yeah, but you don't listen to me when I talk a lot.
Did you just hear that?
Who's talking?
It's like I'm one of
Wah,
the parents
wah.
from the Peanuts.
Wah, wah,
movie.
wah,
Yeah, exactly.
But also with like talk about the action, you can't compare zeitgeist aside. You can't compare like I'll get to the Batmobile. Where's my horse hero? It's a little different.
Yeah.
Devils stay on him.
He's riding a white horse through a jungle, so
Yeah,
it's weird.
Batman's driving a fucking Batmobile through Gotham. Dope.
I very much love this movie.
I
Okay,
do too.
so
I do now.
So James Remar and his buddies here are trying to basically find this magic skull. Originally, I wrote the crystal skull because all I could think of was
God, how dare you?
which is funny because Indiana Jones
This
connection.
movie's so much further ahead than that movie,
this
though.
movie's light years better than that
So
fucking. There are no giant ants.
There's
No one
no
gets in a refrigerator.
aliens.
That movie-
Shia
that-
LaBeouf's not in it.
That movie belongs in a museum.
No,
Not a good one.
yeah, not a museum. If by museum you mean a dumpster.
I just mean I want it locked away.
the museum in
I want it to be examined by top men.
Slipstream.
Top
Men.
men.
The museum in Slipstream.
Oh god, that'd be terrible because those are like the last remnants of society, and they're like, this is the greatest picture in American history. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
People
No
think
wonder their world ended.
people think it's a documentary and y'all went and hid in refrigerators.
Yeah.
Oh my god, there's a nuke coming. Everybody in the Frigidaire.
Man, those
Frigidaire.
fridges were built beautifully in the 50s.
So they're trying to steal this skull. They find it, and like this is when the Phantom comes to stop them because they're also like, let's take all this treasure too.
No one's going to miss it. Oh, we don't get an explanation for this, but one of the skeletons chokes and kills a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought for sure, because like again, I don't remember this. I was like, oh, the Phantom's behind him doing it, like puppeteering, like
moving his little
the
arm.
worst marionette. Like get him.
I
But-
took it as because he grabbed the skull, And then the mummy thing is like, "Meh."
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
He
it's
was
a trap.
fluctuated.
It's an Indiana Jones.
It's a
thing,
booty
right?
trap.
It's a booty trap.
That's what I said, booby trap.
And it's never explained. There aren't really many other booby traps.
No. There's not a lot of other mystical stuff, really.
Yeah.
Like, until you get to the end, but...
Yeah, I mean, like there's the Ghostman and there's the skulls, and that's about it.
So, anyway, we got Ghost Dad.
You know what I think it is? Tribal people.
Yeah.
So must have
Yeah.
mysticism.
It's white people don't understand.
Yes.
We
Okay.
don't get it.
All right.
We haven't for years.
Oh, so we see this is where we get to see Billy Zane in his Phantom costume, which is more detailed than I remember it being.
Yeah, Sam, we talked about this
Yeah.
before we started the Blu-ray. It's like I don't remember this having definition. Maybe I don't remember it, or maybe it didn't have it in that definition. But there is texture and graphics on this guy's
Yeah.
purple suit.
Also, how long ago did we watch it?
I think I saw it in 1995.
So I'm thinking it just wasn't on our radar.
Yeah.
20 to 25 years since I've seen it, probably, even though I saw it a bunch of times. But like I said, it was always on television broadcast, standard definition TV. We're talking like the lowest resolution possible. I remember a guy in a silly purple costume.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter. 'cause
Riding
the
a
movie
white
was
horse.
awesome.
I don't remember the saddle being on the horse.
Speaking of this costume,
He's
by
not
the way,
that raw.
fun fact. Apparently, while they were filming and they would like take breaks, Billy Zane would like go out to get sushi a lot.
In
and
the
he would
purple?
wear his costume because it was too much of a pain in the ass to
Good
get it out.
man.
I want to be in LA in 1995, wherever they were shooting.
Yeah.
Thailand, New
Thailand,
York,
Australia, and New York were the three big
So
ones
New York
I saw.
presumably is where he's getting sushi. Probably Thailand too.
Yeah.
Because
Probably not Australia.
Ocean. I doubt Australia. But just this guy in a purple fucking leotard, just like, I'll take a California roll. I don't think that was a thing yet.
Yeah, no,
We did that, but-
he's ordering the nogri.
Is that without the seaweed?
That's the eel.
Oh,
It's
He's like,
delicious.
yeah, I want the what's the murder fish?
The blowfish.
Blowfish.
Yeah, it has like a special name.
does.
It does.
But whatever.
I don't. The Simpsons would teach you better than I would.
So yeah, he has his white horse. He has his wolf named Devil.
Dope.
And yeah, he's riding a white horse through the jungle, which is just one of
In
the
a purple
funniest
suit.
things you've ever seen.
so why is the white horse hero and the black wolf devil?
That's a gray wolf, but also we have a whole white savior thing going on.
This is
But
true.
also, the horse is just there. Like, he's the savior. He comes in and you ride out on him. He's a hero. The dog, he literally says, if that guy moves, eat him.
Yeah.
He does.
Which we never see the dog eat anybody.
Oh, he's a goodest boy. He wouldn't eat anybody.
He might.
And he's best friends with Hero.
Oh yeah, they talk to each other later.
Got a whole homeward bound situation here.
So this is when he meets. They run into each other, and James Remar is like, "That's somebody I already killed," or whatever.
He says it a couple times
Yeah.
in a couple different ways, but like, yeah, I
It
killed
comes
that
up
guy
later in a
already.
very funny way, but he mentions
Yeah.
here that he already killed him, and so you're like, "Ooh, mystical phantom power man." It turns out they just it's like that thing that you've seen in other movies and stuff or whatever. Like, I killed that guy. It can't be him. He's a ghost. He's magic, and it's just like his son, his brother, his cousin.
And that's what we're
Why
doing
does nobody
here.
ever think that? Are they just dumb?
he lives on an island. Islands are mystical.
Yep.
If you're a
Okay.
white American.
There's no way there's more than one guy wearing a purple suit in this jungle.
No way.
It's got to be the same guy.
And he has
But it's not the same guy when you see empty suit on the ground and a purple man in the corner.
Oh, I can't wait to get there.
so James Remar and his people do have like this web tattoo. The movie also started with the words faded into this web.
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
Oh,
which is
that
the logo of the Singh Brotherhood, who
Yes.
are the hidden bad guys.
The
Yeah.
bad guys.
Same
There's two.
Brotherhood's
Well,
correct.
there's two sets of bad guys because there's
Oh, yeah.
Treat Williams and then there's the Singh Brotherhood.
Yep.
Yeah.
But either way, they've got that tattoo. It comes up later. It's very important.
He also
gonna
has
be.
a skull burned on the side of his temple.
Or I'm assuming to the ring. So if it wasn't burnt, he got
That makes
punched.
sense. I was
real
wondering
hard.
what that was. Why he had like a brand, but yeah, it's from.
So
getting
yeah, that
punched.
makes sense. The
It's
ring,
the ring.
that he's
Whether he's
wearing.
branded or punched, because that's a hard fucking punch.
Yeah, it's a scar. He was punched so hard it ripped.
But
his face
he
open.
seductively like strokes it when he's like, I already killed that guy. He's the Phantom.
So they drive the truck out and like James Remar grabs the skull and bails and says keep the truck, and the
They
truck
forced
goes out
this
on the
kid
bridge.
to test the bridge.
Oh, yeah,
just
we
to
didn't
glance
mention the
over. We
kid.
know they're bad guys.
Yes,
Because instead of save the cat moment, you have a kill the kid moment.
the casual human trafficking, just like tie him up, throw him in the back. We might need him to drive the car back across the bridge
we'll
later.
find a use
Also-
for this guy.
I think they were just also trying to go for the least amount of weight in the vehicle as possible.
No, don't you get on their side.
So the truck goes back out over the bridge, though, and the bridge starts to flip over and break, and the kid is in the back. So Phantom, who's still hanging on the side of the truck.
Yeah, because him and Remar have a fight, and I even wonder because like James Remar grabs the skull and goes, "Keep the truck," and jumps out. And I was like, man, if you're the Phantom, just let go of this door, and you're now with him on the ground. Oh, young kid tied up in the back that would just be instantly dead without you.
Yeah, and I don't think the Phantom knew, but it would, then you have a dead kid.
Yeah.
You can't have a dead kid in your movie.
Not this
No.
early.
Not a PG movie.
Not a PG movie.
No.
It's literally meant for kids.
Unless it's Disney, then it's a dead parent.
Well, yeah, as long as it's only dead
That's
moms.
a dead parent, not a dead kid.
Dead mom. It's pretty much always a dead mom.
In Cinderella, it's both.
That's fair.
It's unfair.
But the bridge is collapsing and it turns upside down, and somehow this truck stays like roped in, which is
Yeah.
I mean, I see they have like ropes around it, like it got caught, but I'm like, that truck's at least dangling.
If
It's
you
a
were
heavy truck.
worried about this bridge supporting you as a person,
Yeah.
you should be very worried about a couple of ropes supporting this truck, this
Yeah.
deuce and a quarter.
Obviously, it's a tension scene. They're hanging out of the truck, and he's got the kid, and when
How
they
does
hang out of the truck,
get wrapped in ropes though?
Movie magic.
Okay.
I think it's
Duh.
when the rope starts to break, and some of the other ropes fall across the top. Yeah,
Or do you think his rope friends did some rope
the
magic?
rope people.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, they're really good with tying certain kinds of knots. Don't worry about it.
The young ones are called noosies.
But they're hanging off this bridge, and we get this stuntman in the Phantom costume wearing like a purple motorcycle helmet.
It's so obvious. Like all of a sudden, this dude's head is fucking huge.
You also see like the tuft of black hair or something coming out.
That's
from
how you
his
know
helmet.
he's spunky. That's how I love it, Tuft.
So I do have a note that says great wig, but we can't determine whether or not this is a wig.
Well, I don't think we'll ever know.
It's got a real receding hairline, but it's like
Yeah.
a cool guy receding hairline.
It's like yours.
No, mine's a sad guy receding hairline. It's only these two spots, and I'm already getting upset.
You just got to get that flow over
It's
like
gonna
Billy
go all the way
Zane,
back,
dude.
and I'm just gonna have the hair in the middle and the hair on the sides, and I have to grow
Just
it
do a
long.
mohawk.
The widowist peak.
So we get his dad now talking to him, who turns out to be a ghost, played by Patrick McGoohan.
Magoo.
Watch out, don't shake with this guy. I just jacked off. Watch out for my goo hand.
This is McGoohan.
Take my goo hand. Y'all want some mashed potatoes?
Don't worry, you'll
No.
stick. I
But
won't drop you, I promise.
I know. I couldn't if I wanted to. I know this dude is Edward Longshanks from Braveheart, where he is just fucking evil and notorious.
I have not seen that movie, so I
Yeah,
couldn't
me
tell
neither
you.
have I. How many times have you ever been in a room where you're the only person that's seen Braveheart?
One. Right now.
I think
one.
I have seen.
Except
I
when
think
I
it's
was
one of those afternoon
when I was a
movies.
preschool teacher.
Literally,
None of those kids watched
I've only
that.
seen trailers for that.
Wow.
I think it's one of those afternoon movies again, kind of like this, but it was the one where I walked away.
I didn't think I'd say this, but you guys might watch too many bad movies.
I was never a big Mel Gibson fan outside of very few things.
Watch it for everybody else. Watch it for Magoo hands.
Have you seen the man? Speaking of Mel Gibson, the man with two faces or some shit like that, where he like
The Man with No Face?
is that what it is?
I think so.
I don't know, where he has
that
like
that Jesus
wicked
movie?
ass burn. He's got like no, there's this like kid.
No, it's like he's like Harvey Dented.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's two-faced.
yeah,
It's half of the mask.
yes,
It's ask. I know it's
It's
two.
a ma.
It's it's either ma or sk.
I don't know. I kind of like
So stupid.
Speaking of Mel Gibson, I don't know if he's directing. I would assume he is, but yep, he is. I had to check. There is a movie coming out next year.
Oh no.
It's a sequel
What are we gonna say?
to a very famous Mel Gibson movie.
the passion.
The Passion of the Christ.
Oh.
Resurrection is coming out, which I'm like. So
I feel like this is going to be the beginning of the movie Scrooged, where all of a sudden Jesus is going to come out of the tomb with a couple of AR-15s.
I was thinking very similarly.
This
There was a
summer.
Family Guy skit where they did Passion of the Christ 2, like Christ Harder or something, and like it's Jim. It's not Jim Caviezel, but it's Jesus. Jim Caviezel's Jesus, but it's like a Die Hard 2 like action
Yeah.
movie kind of thing, and he's like on the cover. He's got like the gun with going up, and he's got like a
Oh,
bullet going through a
now I
hole in
got
his
a gun.
hand or something, and like, dude.
Are you sure it wasn't The Simpsons? 'Cause
No,
they're
I mean they
predicting.
probably
What's
did
the
one too.
stigmata
but-
with you?
Anyway, about this movie.
So we go to a fancy party. This
Yeah, we
is
do.
Christy Swanson, Diana Palmer's family. it's like the Palmer Foundation or something.
She's
So
in
they're rich.
pants.
She's wearing pants in the 30s.
And her mom is not happy
is
about
it
it.
her mom?
Yes.
Is it her mom? Because I know the guy.
The
that
guy's
she's
her
talking-
uncle. So I
Yeah.
don't know if it was her aunt or if it was
Either
like,
way, it's like the kind of matriarch of the family, and
Yes.
one's like, "Hey, get upstairs, make yourself presentable, come back down." She's like, "No, I'm just gonna grab something to eat." It's like,
yeah. Well, why don't you go
"Oh."
clean up? And then she like looks her up and down. So
Which now we know this is the everyday woman, though, because what does she do when she wants something to eat?
Makes herself a
She
bologna
goes to the
sandwich.
kitchen and makes herself a sandwich instead of like, "Hey, one of these caterers will bring me something I want." She's
Exactly.
like, "No, I know where shit is. I can do it myself. Good for you."
And she uses a big glob of mayonnaise.
Oh, God, I'm sickened.
Uses a spoon. But did you see how thick this bread was? I can understand why.
Nobody
It was
should
an
ever
inch
use a
thick.
spoon to apply mayonnaise.
I'm gonna do that in front of you next
I'm gonna
time.
fucking throw up.
he's like, I'm gonna use a spoon to slap you in the face. The same spoon.
Derrick, pause the podcast while I go hide all your spoons.
I used to have a wooden spoon hidden in my couch to beat people with.
Weird. The
So
life you live.
at this party, we also meet Xander Drax,
Yeah.
played by Treat Williams.
He's a thug.
Treat Williams. I can't think off the top of my head what movies. I know he was in a movie. It's either Red Heat or Dead Heat. Those both are movies.
I don't know Dead Heat. Is that
A possible future episode.
well, no, I was going to say, is that a Van Damme?
No, Dead Heat. It was. I want to say that was the Treat Williams one. Yes, Treat Williams and Joe Piscopo.
Okay.
Joe Piscopo.
Yeah,
I love Joe Piscopo.
I don't know that movie. I definitely know Red Heat.
yeah.
That's
Red Heat.
That's the Belushi Schwarzenegger one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Red Heat is the one with Schwarzenegger. I can always get them mixed up, not because they're anything alike, but just because of the names.
Yeah, that's close.
But yeah, Dead Heat is Joe Piscopo and Treat Williams, and it's something about zombies and they're cops that are like trying to stop. I think Treat Williams becomes a zombie.
After watching this, I kind of want to see everything Treat Williams has done.
I know I've seen him in quite a few things, and he has that beautiful hair and everything.
I'll see him in my dreams tonight.
He's got that natural, almost pompadour thing,
Yeah.
like comb over, not
little-
comb over.
Oh,
but
you
little
said
poof
at
in the front.
first that you thought it was Matthew Modine.
Oh, I thought it was a buffed up Matthew Modine.
And so we have him come into the party, and he comes down the stairs and makes a big spectacle of himself. And we meet Dave.
Uncle's
Palmer.
not happy to see him.
Yeah, the Dave Palmer's the uncle. That's the character's name. I didn't get the actor's name. He's like a newspaper man.
Yeah.
He owns a newspaper, and they're investigating Xander Drax for being a scumbag. Basically, he lists off all this stuff, but basically it just comes to you're a piece of shit.
The mayor and the chief of police are right there, like, "Hey, come on, man, don't make it personal. Like, don't attack this guy."
Yeah.
Which you should know now they're in his pocket.
Yeah,
1000%.
and I think we see the mayor like one other time with him, but the police commissioner comes in a couple times.
Pretty much every big meeting they have.
Yeah, but and I'm sitting here going like, so yeah, he reveals everything he knows about Drax to the police commissioner and the mayor and these mafia guys. No, that's a different scene.
Different.
Someone else is in there. Palmer, the girl is in there, and somebody else is in there. It doesn't
It's
matter.
it's the mayor, the commissioner, the police chief, whatever.
Yeah, Diana.
and the daughter and the uncle, or the woman and the uncle.
Okay,
That's
I
it. There's
thought there was
four.
someone else. But he's telling him all the stuff he knows, and I'm sitting here going, if this guy is getting away with all this stuff, and that guy is the police commissioner, that guy is obviously working with him.
They just
Like,
stood up for him.
Yeah.
Just seconds ago,
even
to
if they
you.
didn't
Yeah.
stand up for him, if this guy is getting away with all of these things,
Maybe he just doesn't know where else to go. He's like, this is the highest I know in the city.
yeah. Well,
You
he's
know.
he's a good like virtuous dude. So to him, he's like, well, you guys are the upstanding pillars of the
I'm not
community.
bought out. Why would you be bought
Yeah,
out?
exactly. But finds out he's
Money, money,
revealing
money,
that
money.
Drax. Yeah. He's revealing that Drax has been like researching some cult stuff at the library, and which does come to a great scene, and like all of this stuff, and he wants to go and to the Bengala jungle and find out what it is Drax is looking for. And then this is when Diana's like, no, I'll go, because she's like a globe-trotting type. She just came back from some tundra. I don't remember what they said. She came back from somewhere.
the Yukon.
The Yukon. There we go.
Because even the mom or aunt or whatever
It's
that
cold.
female
What
is,
else
like,
do you need to know?
It's cold. Shut up. What else do you want to know? Let her get out of her
Yeah,
pants.
well, she doesn't. Yeah, she
Let her put
doesn't
a
want
fucking dress on.
She doesn't want to talk to Diana about her adventures and stuff because this is all man stuff. She
Yeah,
needs to
you're
be
a
a lady.
girl.
Did you go on safari without a man? How dare you? It's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
So she decides she's gonna go, and she gets on the plane, the Orient Clipper.
Wow. Like, as soon as I read it, I was like, yep, 1930s,
I mean,
though.
it does say Orient at least. It stops at the T.
Yeah, that's true. It is the 30s, so if it did say Oriental, it would be
would
fine
still be-
for the
yeah.
period.
I mean, this is what they called the region, right? The Orient.
the
So
Orient.
I mean, it's the Orient Clipper. It apparently goes over and kills people.
It's fine as long as you're not talking about people.
Yeah. That's when we get Catherine Zeta-Jones and
Oh,
her like
man.
lady skyjacking pilots.
I
or
want a
whatever.
spin-off of these chicks, man.
Dude, they need their own movie.
Yeah.
You see them come out, and you immediately know just by hearing her voice, because she's got her little pilot helmet thingy on, that leather
absolutely.
helmet with the goggles, and then
But you know, under that, she's even with that on, you know it's a smoke show. Like I said, I
100%.
forgot it was Catherine Zeta.
and then
I was like, oh
you
man,
hear the
this
words,
is,
you hear her
oh,
voice,
boy.
and you're like, yes.
Did somebody watch this and then go, you know what, Sky Captain and the World Tomorrow?
That's exactly what I was thinking when you said I want a spin-off. I was like, I feel like we got that.
We didn't get a good one.
It wasn't, yeah. And they kidnap Diana, and then they throw everybody into the ocean? Because they say that they found all of the passengers.
Plane, we're talking about a seaplane, so it was already landed in the ocean. Maybe
Well, no,
I'm
they
guessing
got it when it was flying.
No, they landed.
Yeah, they definitely landed
They
it.
landed the I don't know. Catherine Zeta's plane like comes up real close to it. They shoot the door open, then they go inside. So my guess is that they disabled the plane, and these
Okay.
Portuguese fishermen found them safely floating.
Okay, 'cause they said they found him in the ocean. So I
This
thought they
is
meant
the
they found
plane
them.
very similar to Tailspin that Baloo had.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
Tailspin.
Also, it's a plane with boat for feet.
Oh, yo.
Yes, that's what the one kid says. It was a plane with boat for feet.
Billy
Billy Zane
Zane.
looks at him like, "Fucking boat don't have, or planes don't have feet. You dumb shit."
Oh, a sea boat.
Boat for feet.
Seaboat?
Could he
Or
mean
seaplane.
Could he mean seaplane? Yeah, seaboat.
I own an airboat.
I mean, I had a Cadillac. That's a land boat.
I can totally see you driving a caddy.
I wish I
I
had it
guess an
still.
airboat is just like those ships, the airships, right, from Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Big flying
Or
boat.
the helicarriers in any Marvel
Super
movie.
Mario 3.
Oh, I went Marvel. I went
Yeah.
Samuel Jackson.
See, I didn't even think about that, even though that literally is a flying boat. I
It's a
thought
flying
of
boat.
Super Mario Brothers 3 when there's a flying boat. It just has like little wings.
I mean, that's where you. That's the first thing you saw. So
yeah,
you know.
yeah. And we're talking about 1995, so there's like a reference to like an old like serial though. There's a Junior G-Men.
What are you listening to Junior G-Man
Yeah, and
again?
this kid's got this radio. He's like finding out this hijacking is happening or whatever, and he's like cranking this thing to listen to the radio.
Oh, yeah,
which I'm
Garon.
assuming is to make power. But
so let's
like,
not glance over it. The Phantom has like what I think are willing, but manservants or boy servants.
Yes.
Because now he's got this guy Guran, Guram. We're probably saying it right, but who knows?
I believe that's how he pronounced
And then
it.
he's got this
Zach.
kid that he saves, Zach, also helping. So like, it's a different form of child labor and trafficking.
Yeah, but these are like I mean, I guess the implication is like this island tribe gave him his family this ring and this power to be their protector. So these people are probably like it's an honor to help
a privilege,
serve him.
yeah.
I was gonna say they look comfortable and happy to be there, and I feel like they could leave whenever they want.
Forgive me for besmirching the good name of Billy Zane.
Thank you.
He would never child traffic. He would never child labor.
He would
There
never force
are
labor.
some like old school like English safarimen, like the colonial English,
Very
the ones that you would
colonial.
see in Africa and stuff all the time, like
Yeah.
back in the day on this island. But they're even though it seems like Quill is working for at least some of them, there's one guy who's at least a good guy because that's the one that Diana Palmer is supposed to go meet. And Billy Zane goes into his house, and I just wanted to write, or his little like dwelling.
His hut.
I wanted to touch on it because he walks in and Billy Zane's sitting there like Batman, right? Just came in. He's like,
Don't
"Can't you ever come in through a door?"
I
what does he
prefer
say?
the window.
I prefer a window. It's more
It's
more mysterious or
it's
something.
It's too obvious. As we said, the door is too obvious. I like
prefer
the window. Like
Come to my window.
that. Somewhere in all of this, there's a cutaway real quick to, which I said would be important, right? The library thing.
Yeah.
There's a cutaway to, like, he had a source at the library that gave him this information. Xander Drax is meeting with said library guy, the guy who helped him get in to read these things or whatever. And he's like, "Who did you tell about my research?"
No one.
Yeah. He's like, okay,
It's
that's
all
cool. I
private. It
get
all
it."
goes through me. So, no, you're good here. Relax. Calm
Awesome,
down.
I believe you.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, I've got this thing I want you to look at. I know you're a librarian. Can you look into this microscope? There's something I want you to examine for me real quick.
I don't see anything.
Well, I don't see anything.
Just turn the focus knob.
Yeah, let me
and
hold your
fucking
glasses.
Knives. Oh, he takes his glasses, and these knives shoot out of this fucking microscope into this dude's eyeballs.
And what's the last thing he sees?
Oh yeah, the word liar.
The word liar.
And
What
then fucking
tremendous-
Drax just, this is when we knew he was awesome. Like, we'd seen him a little bit, but he's just like, "You won't be needing these anymore." Snap. And just throws these
God,
fucking
his
glasses.
deliveries are so good, man.
Dude, this guy is great. But yeah, that was wonderful. And again, PG, if this had been PG-13, we could have seen that blood.
Oh,
No, we cut away.
Yeah, it was just a shot of Drax's face, and you hear the Yeah, it was great.
And the delight on Drax's face.
Oh yeah, he loves it.
Love when a plan comes together.
I mean, we could talk about it now because it's like the next scene with Drax. The next when he has the meeting with
the council,
the commissioner and the mayor and the crime family, the Zappo family,
and also
or
the two crime guys that we now know during this meeting are the head of their syndicate.
Yeah.
Were the two guys that followed, what's her name, Diana?
Yeah.
Followed her onto the plane. Like, you got to have henchmen for that.
Yeah.
You don't see the top of the mafia. You don't see Kingpin from the comic books following.
No,
but
and
when
these guys, their
when
last
it's Drax telling you to do it, you do it.
How
You don't leave
delegate
it to
that shit?
something
No,
else.
that's what you do as a mob boss.
Well, and the guy's
You don't-
last name. So there was Charlie, who's played by
Jackie Aprile.
Jackie Aprile. Yeah, I wrote down his real name.
He's not played by Jackie Aprile.
I wrote down his real name somewhere, but I don't have it right on me. But Jackie Aprile, and then the other guy who I didn't get, but their last names are Zephyro, and they say the Zephyro crime family.
Yeah.
So yes, these are the crime family.
These are the capos. Like, these are the guys.
Yeah.
These are the shot callers. You have your nephew Michael Imperione. Go fucking follow him down. All right.
But
you
if
don't
Drax-
send.
If Drax asks you to do something and don't fuck it up, you do it yourself. Because
No.
if you want something done right, because he's gonna murder you for their
Tony
fuck up.
Soprano's gonna send fucking what is it? Sal, whatever.
Sal.
Yeah.
I guarantee he just send was it Big Pussy?
You send Big Puss.
Oh
But-
yeah.
I guarantee, but this being like the comic book cartoon world that it is, they've got those like bumbling like which way did he go kind of side.
Why
like,
I
henchmen.
oughta?
Yeah. And they
Like,
were just
it's
like
the Two
you know,
Stooges.
We can't. This mustache man is insane. We can't send that fucking goon.
Yeah,
Like, so,
that's
but either
true.
way, they're all at this
Which way
meeting.
did it go, George?
And like this is jumping ahead, but it's Xander's thing, and I love it. They're at this meeting, and he's telling them about how these three skulls, you combine them, and you control the forces of darkness, and da 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 da. And I literally stopped the movie to tell you guys, like, as a kid, I thought this is how bad guys thought.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess it kind of was in the 30s because Hitler was trying to find magic artifacts. But
Sure. They kind of prelude to this. They're like, well, there's darkness impending. Europe's going to destroy itself. America's in fun. This guy's waiting. He's like, World War II is going to be great for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now you watch it and you're like, if I were in this meeting, I'd be like, bro, you need to lay off the fucking meth.
Yeah.
Like, but
When's the last
one
time
guy
you slept, dude?
and one guy, the other Zephyro that isn't Jackie Aprile, basically gets up and he's like, fuck this, I'm out, you're weird. He doesn't say that's stupid, it sounds insane. He just says, I'm not going to be a part of this.
I was raised Catholic.
Yeah,
I had my baptism
an
at
altar
St.
boy.
Michael's.
I was an altar boy at St. Pete's.
Yeah, St. Pete's.
And he goes to walk out, and Jackie Aprile is like, I'm not going, I'm staying. And he's
You're
like,
on your own.
Yeah, well, fuck you then. I'm taking my organization with me. And he turns to leave, and fucking Drax just hucks this spear right through this dude's
which
back.
is kind of a 2-minute callback because when this guy, the non-Jackie Aprile stands up, he's like, we're not hunting for some stupid. Oh no, my faith, the only thing I believe in is the power that comes from the end of a barrel.
Yes.
Not some jungle relic and then get stabbed with a jungle relic
relic.
spear. So it's like, well, believe in that shit, sucker.
when he throws it though, it's great because everybody's looking like, oh shit, he killed that dude, and he's like, and Xander's in the back just not giving a fuck, and he's like, my bursitis is acting up a little
Oh,
bit.
he's like rolling his shoulder.
Ugh. And this guy that gets stabbed, by the way, is making the greatest gurgle
Twitching.
noises and hand twitching. He's doing some good fucking hand acting.
That hand could act.
Yeah, this guy just kills people in a great way, and it's wonderful.
And I'm here
Gonna
for
get
it.
a really good job later with that hand, like a really good hand job.
So the Phantom breaks into the lair of where Diana's being held. He found out somehow through like listening to the wires or something, or he
Yeah.
talked to whatever. He figured it out. And
Oh
he
no,
breaks
this is
in-
where the kid. He goes, I know where the planes are. I've seen the
that's the
planes
seaplane
before. They
thing.
have
Okay.
fucking boats for feet.
Because he goes in, but this is like a building that's like the hangar or whatever that they're at, I guess. Because he breaks into this room and he's expecting a bunch of dudes, and he's like, "Hey, gentlemen," and it's a woman's shower.
Whoa. And he gets so gentleman. Instead of like some sleazy like, oh, by all means, do move. He's like, oh,
Ooh,
pardon
sorry.
the intrusion. Hands on the hip. Pardon the intrusion, ladies. I didn't mean to see your nerps.
My bad.
Let me dive in this laundry
But
chute.
then homegirl behind him takes a shot at him, and he jumps in his laundry chute so amazingly. It's just like a little whoop, and he's gone.
Just hops up with both feet, and
Yeah.
like he doesn't like. I don't know. I mean, you hop with
He
both
doesn't
feet,
brace.
but it's a
He just-
very like. I don't know.
Nothing
It's a-
touches. There's not like, normally you like swing in or like lower yourself in. He goes from ground to inside the laundry
Yeah.
chute.
This is
so
a flying. This is a
seamlessly.
flying Grayson's type of move. It's
Yes.
like-
Absolutely.
when he gets to the bottom of this laundry chute, though, he just drops into the room where Catherine Zeta-Jones has Diana Palmer. And I don't remember exactly.
Catherine Zeta's wet for this dude as soon as he lands.
Yeah,
dude.
he lands in there and he's like, "I'm here to save her," and she just sticks her fucking tongue down his throat.
Oh yeah,
yeah, no warning.
We missed a quick little thing because she has the gun on him and he does not act like there's a gun on him.
Oh yeah,
You know what? You should never point a gun at somebody.
What is this, like, building full of chicks or girls
saying.
only? Yeah. Oh man,
was this the first? No, that wasn't the first.
No,
one.
we missed it. But
Yeah.
there is a point where it's like it's an old jungle saying.
No. Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe we
it's
did miss the
when-
first one.
it's
He
when
says it here.
Karan
I'm pretty
and
sure he
Zach are
says
in
it
it.
there.
He does say it here, but there's I
There had to be
swear
another
there's
one.
an
Yeah.
earlier
I
one.
thought the first one was coming up here when he takes Diana to the cave and they meet with the Englishmen and stuff. But he does say it here, so it had to have come before. Either that or this is the first time he says it, and we're just like, what?
Yeah.
I swear he says it when it's Zach and Garan. When
Probably,
there's
but this is
something
the
around
most
there.
predominant
He's saying
one.
it to Zach. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't ever point a gun at somebody. There's an old jungle saying, "Don't point a gun at somebody; it might go off." And lightning reflexes snatches the
Not
gun.
even looking.
I was
He's
gonna
looking
say,
at Diana.
all right, so yes, it's supposed to be very lightning, quick movement and reflexes. And it's fast,
Yeah,
but it's not fast enough that she couldn't have shot him.
but she's
It's very like
intrigued
goofy
by
fast.
him.
Although if they did it now, then they would add in a CG blur and he'd be like, "Chip, chip."
Yeah,
So this
but-
is just him being like, I am quick.
She's slowed down
because
by her
he's-
horniness.
He's not looking at her, so she's not expecting it because he's looking behind her, like
Oh, he's looking at Diana.
yeah, and so Catherine Zeta's behind him, and he's just like wah. I'm
Okay.
acting it out like you can see it.
But you imagine the wapon.
Everyone knows what wah means. So he's getting out. She knocks out Catherine Zeta-Jones. He's like, tie her up. And she's like, wham! And just punches her. It's personal. Don't worry about it.
That's how I do it.
He's like, alrighty then.
Oh, by the way, this. She has this stupid fucking like note in her boot this whole time,
yeah.
and all it is a drawing of the symbol for the Sang.
which
yeah, the
is
same
just
brotherhood.
a spider
It's
web.
a spider web. You can memorize. I made the example of like it's like carrying around a picture of a swastika. Where if I came to
Same
you,
time,
Derek, and just said, "Oh, have you ever seen this symbol that's a swastika?" You wouldn't be like, "Well, let me see."
Have you ever seen a swastika? I can't picture it.
Can you show me an example of a swastika?
But this is
It is a
1938, so the swastika has barely been used yet.
Well, I'm just using an example that the fact is, if I described a spider web to you, you would know what a spider web
It is a
was.
stylized
Yeah.
spider web. It has like a certain part where it's disconnected. And there's
Spoken
like
like a
flare
true
and,
Sang
like, whatever,
Brotherhood,
but
dude. I knew it. I fucking
different.
knew it.
I'm secret Sang Brotherhood.
Where's your
I hang out with
spider
Shang
web?
Tsung
You're
and-
evil,
and-
Derek.
I hang out with Shang Tsung and Dexter's dad. And
he did marry me with Dexter's dad.
But yeah, I just hate because then Catherine Zeta's like, "Oh, what's this?" While she's trying to sniff her boots or some other fantasy I made up.
she did come in. She's like, love those boots, while also wearing like very high
Dope ass boots. Like I dare say hers were better.
And she steals them, and she's like, oh yeah, they're from Fifth Avenue, and they'll fit me. And da da da. And she's very fancy.
What is this?
She does talk shit about this girl, by the way. She's like, yeah, she's really pretty for like a spoiled rich girl. And I'm like, have you seen yourself?
Yeah, but she has black hair. She's a villain.
But she can't be a spoiled rich girl then.
She can't. She's not white.
No, because she was, brown.
That's what the movie's posing to us. Like,
I guess.
oh, spoiled white girl. And it is a whole different thing.
By the way, it's just a side note that doesn't really matter. I think I may have mentioned it. I was looking through Catherine Zeta-Jones' credits, and she played Catherine in Catherine the Great, and I was like, "A little fool yourself."
I'm
It's who
sorry,
she was
I
named
thought it was a
after.
documentary. I thought it was a biopic.
And maybe that's what it is. I thought it was about Catherine the Great. It's actually just about Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Catherine, I'm great. This is a very early Zeta Jones, by the way. We looked it up.
We did.
and
It was her like
she was
breakthrough
in other
role.
stuff, but nothing this big.
She was in an episode of Young Indiana or Adventures of Young Indiana Jones. So
Like I
Same
said,
Same
nothing
director.
big.
maybe this actor got her, or the director got her, because he's like, "Hey, you were on that. I think
He
you'd be
saw
great for
something in her."
this."
Yeah, he was like, "You listen to me very well.
I like the way you do what
You're
I tell
hot.
you.
You."
Is the director Michael Douglas? Just fucking grooming. Yeah, it's Hollywood.
So Peter Quill, or other Quill. Oh, what's his name? I don't
James
know. Quill.
Remar.
James Remar. And his goons like attack them while they're trying to escape.
Yeah.
And we get the first of two brutal nut shots in this movie, and it's the between the legs camera. Like this girl, I guess Diana, just rocks this dude.
But to get to where she rocks him because he has her in a double arm headlock.
Oh, yeah, I forgot
and she
about
just
that.
drops down like a slippery comic book character.
Yes, she does.
Yeah, because
It is
they're all holding
tremendous.
they're holding Billy Zane by the arms,
By
right?
the wrists.
And James Remar is pointing the gun at him, and then he they move and he headbutts the guys backwards or something, and then he starts fighting him, and that's when the other guy gets distracted. Yeah, and she just slips out, and it looks like a fucking cartoon because the guy's still holding his arms, but it's like he was just slow dancing with her from behind.
There needs zoom lines or something when she drops down. It's so
Yeah,
good.
she drops down and rocks that dude in the nuts, which is pretty
Again,
awesome.
another part of this movie that's getting it.
And
Yeah.
this is when the dog Devil runs in and Phantom leaves to go chase him. And I think this is the part. No, it was in the jungle when he tells him if he moves, eat him. Right? Or is it on the boat?
I think it's here.
Yeah, because there's a guy laying
it's
on the
happened
ground.
twice.
It's the same scene.
Yeah.
Just on one's on a boat and one's in a jungle.
Yeah, this
But
one's
yeah,
on the
I think this
boat.
is it where he's like, if that guy moves, eat him. The
Yeah.
dog just sits down
And
and looks at him.
that's to Quill. He says it because the devil is on Quill.
Oh, okay, because he leaves to go chase somebody else. I thought he was chasing Quill.
I think he
still.
did it twice because when he first see the horse and he's chasing after, he knocks one of the guys out and he's like, if he moves,
Okay,
eat
no,
him.
you're right. It's in the jungle.
So
he
maybe
does
might
it.
do it here too.
It is in the jungle when he does it because here's where he goes because they're trying to chase. They're trying to get away, and the guys get in the truck and they get on horses, and then the dog chases them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he steals the plane.
And this is where we have our homeward bound moment where the dog comes up to the horse. He's like, roar, 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 and the horse is like nodding along, like, you betcha, pal.
Yeah, and that's why I would realize it
then
was
they
this moment because the
take
dog
off.
left. So, but yeah, the dog definitely like. "Roar, roar."
But he doesn't.
Michael
he
J.
just,
Fox,
He
dude.
moves around.
Hey, we gotta get up there, champ. Let's go. Come on.
So wait,
Master needs
is the
us.
horse Sally Fields or oh God, I don't know who played the.
I do know who it is. Give me Don Michi. It's Don Amici. He plays the other dog
I'm trying to
in
picture Don Amici.
Trading Places. He's one of the rich
Okay,
brothers.
okay, John.
He's
okay.
not the older looking one. Don Amici. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he died after Homeward Bound, and in
Okay.
Homeward Bound 2, he's replaced voice wise.
By
But
the way, Homeward Bound is one of those movies, man. Fucked me up.
yeah,
I was a kid.
absolutely.
And I loved it. That's why I find movies disgusting.
You know,
They-
what fucked me up more, dude, is Milo Notice, not the movie. When you found out the making of it,
Oh,
that they
God,
went through
yeah.
like 16 cats just throwing him off cliffs.
Yeah.
Do you not know about this? Like the movie Milo Notice is basically why they had to put no animals were harmed in the making of this movie, was because if I'm not mistaken, it was like
Well,
a
then
Chinese company or something.
Yeah,
and they
it was-
just were fucking throwing animals into rivers and
There was
just
more
like,
than there was more than one of both of the animals.
yep.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah, that's what fucked me up about movies. That's why now when I watch a movie with an animal, I'm like, oh, I might have to research this
Yeah.
and turn it off. I can't.
What was I gonna say? Homeward Bound is the reason that I hate when they do this thing they do now with the CG, where when the animals talk, they have to
Oh,
make
they
their
have the
mouths
mouth move?
Because I was like, I accepted it. I was a child.
Yeah.
The dogs talked. The dogs and cats talked to each other. It was all fucking
Telepathic.
telekinetic.
Yeah,
They're
we hear
telepathic.
English, but they aren't speaking
Yeah,
English.
they just look at each other, and he's like, "Oh shit,
go,
man, that's crazy." Yeah, they don't even have to do that. Like I mean, they do, but it's like that's how they communicated. The dogs can just hear each other. It's fine.
Yeah.
Although that new one with Will Ferrell playing the little dog does look kind of funny, even though it looks terrible.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's this movie coming out called I don't remember. It doesn't matter. Will Ferrell plays this little tiny dog, and is it Will Forte? That's his
Yeah.
owner, and he's like.
Oh, it's our favorite game.
He's like, yeah, we played this game. He's like, Doug is the greatest guy in the world. I love him so much, and he loves me. We love to play our favorite game, Fetch and Fuck. And like the dog comes up and he takes something and he takes the dog out to the middle of the field, lets him out of the car, and throws something. So the dog goes to get it and then drives home. He's like, I go and get it, and then I bring it back to him. And when he drops the ball or whatever at his feet, he goes, fuck. Because he just keeps trying to get rid of it. He hates this dog. He throws beer
Yeah.
cans at him and shit, and the dog's like, yeah.
My second favorite game.
And eventually he does get abandoned, and he meets all these other dogs that are strays.
and they're like, he hates you.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then he goes, I'm gonna go find Doug, and they're like, why the fuck would you want to go back? And he's like, I'm gonna eat his dick.
Oh, I'm back in on that line.
Yeah.
So it looks stupid as shit. It's a bunch of CG animated dog. I mean, there's real dog, and it's also CG dog. It's a
CG
mixture.
face.
But like, just the idea of this dog being like, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna eat his dick. I'm like, yeah, does that happen?
Be nicer to your dogs, people.
Likely it'll be an episode. Sure, it's not good, but there are moments.
Get your dick.
Anyways, the dog and the horse talk to each other. They're flying away in this plane.
That's
when
the
he
old
gets
dog and pony show.
Oh, shit.
when the Phantom gets in the plane, he's like, "Jump in." She's like, "You can fly a plane," and he just kind of like looks at her, and she's like, "Of course you can."
Yeah. Why do I even ask? You fucking Mary Sue.
I just met you 5 seconds ago, but why do I even ask? and they're trying to get away, and they're running out of fuel because the plane got shot. And so I jokingly said, he's going to jump out of this plane and land on that horse.
Which seemed preposterous.
Guess what? I mean, it wasn't when he was way up, but when I said it. But he lowers the plane, and he gets her to get down on the skid thing pontoon, and he jumps off this fucking plane onto this horse. And a lot of it is a mixture of shots here. So there's a lot of the like green screen stuff in this movie, obviously. Not
there's
looking,
somebody
or rear projection, maybe. Yeah. It is early where it's at the area where you could do green screen because there are CG gunshots all over the place.
Oh, we'll get there.
Oh my god, the trees!
But there's a mixture of CG, like a fake plane in front of a background, and there's also a real plane. And when this guy jumps off this plane onto this horse, that's real.
Yep.
Because that horse is running at full speed.
There's somebody doing this with a horse.
Yeah.
It ain't Billy Zane.
Oh no!
We've
No.
seen
It's a guy in
that.
a purple helmet.
And it's not her either.
Oh, they clearly.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
When she goes to jump on, like she's got this short haircut with like curls.
All
in
of a
it, like
sudden,
30s
she's played
thing.
by Willem Dafoe.
She's got like this lady with her hair pulled back in a hard ponytail.
I'm something of a stuntman myself, Peter.
I think it was just the wind blowing the hair back. I don't think it was in a ponytail.
No, because it's the shot of her, the actual actress, and there's like you can see her curls and stuff, and then it cuts to that shot, and all of a sudden it's like, brah, like back to her head. You guys all saw it. Brah.
When I jumped on the horse, I looked just like this. It's bad, but it's bad in the sense that we can see it's not them. It's great in the sense that we can see it's a person. It is a plane. It is a prop.
I will mention this is a Blu-ray. None of the cool boutiques I always want to like shout out to, like Shout Factory or anybody. This is just a Paramount Blu-ray. That's why there's no special features.
Oh, okay.
The menu doesn't even say the Phantom. It's just a picture of Billy Zane in a purple costume.
You know what? That's fine. I don't want to say the Phantom. I just want to look at Billy Zane on a giant
I don't need
TV.
all these words
with
interrupting my
4K.
screen.
Unfortunately, it wasn't the right color.
No, but you know what? He looked good.
He did look good.
But yeah, it's so the stuntsmen and stuff like that we gotta kind of forgive because they're watching it in HD.
Absolutely.
But it's still fun.
They're doing stuff.
And I did.
Stuntmen
mention-
have jobs.
I wrote down for myself to remind myself this is another instance of a bad boss. So we talked about this during Bad Boys.
Oh,
we
and
were like,
Checky
this guy
Cario
Checky Cario just fucking kills that dude and throws him out.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, but what about in RoboCop when fucking Red Foreman does it?
Kurtwood Smith.
Yes, Kurtwood Smith. And you're like, that's not a way to run things. They're trying to chase Billy Zane, and they're shooting at him and like, there's guys hanging off the side of the truck shooting.
It was
He's
a
like,
perfectly
"Can't
good
you-"
back of the truck, by the way.
And fucking James Remar's like, can't you guys fucking hit anything? And he opens this door and just knocks this dude off this speeding truck so he can start shooting.
He probably hit a tree, and like maybe he's not dead, but he's gonna wish he was with
Yeah.
just broken spine.
1930s
1930s
fucking doctors.
Doctors, they put him down
Yep.
on the spot. They're like,
Just
well,
1930s doctor is the same as a horse doctor. They're
Yeah.
like, broke your leg?
how'd that horse
fairly
become a
certain-
doctor? I'll never know.
I'm fairly certain that they are the same doctor.
Yeah, he'll wish you're dead, man.
Doctor in the front, vet in the rear.
Yep.
Gross.
I think we all knew what was coming. They're running away. They got on the horse and they're running away. They hop over this log.
Oh, but before we get to the log, sorry, but this is where we get the worst added bullet effects.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
They
they're
start
shooting in the
there.
woods.
They didn't put like, I don't even know if you would call them a squib. They didn't put anything in the tree to make the bark explode.
Any explosions?
Yeah.
It is like hand drawn in Tronimation.
Yeah, it's that old school like kind of rotoscope, whatever it is, where they draw on the film, like you would see in the 80s and stuff. But it's like sparks.
So fucking
And it happens a
noticeable.
lot in this movie. Like, anytime there's gunshots, especially in the woods, I'm like, why are there so many sparks coming off the trees?
Yeah.
But when people are shooting in buildings where there's like blocks and metal,
Wood
there are no
doesn't
sparks.
really spark like this.
Maybe we just noticed it more in the trees because typically they're darker scenes too. But
Yeah,
there was
it
also
was-
more gunfire.
It
in
was
that.
noticeable AF.
Yeah, it looks fucking terrible. But they jump over this log, and then the dog jumps over the log, and the truck is still coming, so you know what's going to happen. The truck slams into that, and James Remar and this other guy go flying.
They
which
Looney
is great.
Tunes forward.
Yeah. And there's two guys still chasing him on horses. And he's going through the woods, and she's like, where are we even going? He's like, don't worry, I've got friends here. And you like pan up to this Ewok village up in the trees.
Yeah, it's the rope people.
And it's, yes, we found out it's the rope people.
Yeah.
Which,
No more
I don't
Mr.
know.
Noose Guy.
Oh yeah.
But nobody notices buildings in the trees. I understand you're in a chase, but it's not like this is like a heavy canopy.
Yeah, no, it's right there.
It's 10 feet above your head. If you're riding in from a distance, you're like, oh look, Ewoks.
They're gonna drop some rocks on us.
Well, he couldn't see the bridge in front of him earlier in the movie.
Yeah, he's like, there should be a bridge somewhere here. Oh,
That bridge snuck right up on him.
Yeah, it did.
It's like 2 feet away. He's like, oh.
Well, maybe it's like that forest in Shang-Chi where it just like always closes and changes.
There you
Oh,
go.
there you go.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Which that was a pretty cool part of that movie.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, these rope people, they ride through this village, and these guys throw these giant nooses down, and I was like, oh shit, they're gonna fucking hang these
Then you
two
remembered
nerds.
it's PG.
I loved
Yeah,
it.
I was insanely excited for these guys to just get roped by the neck and yanked off these horses.
But no, it goes under
But,
the
yeah,
arm.
under the
We're
arm
safe
somehow.
here. We're fine.
And it lifts them up. But speaking of Ewoks, they're gonna eat these dudes.
Oh,
So
yeah.
100%.
Oh, we're not showing it. These guys all have skulls on that. That's a death cult.
They got like the bones through their nose
Yeah.
and stuff.
They're
That's
cannibals.
especially in 1930 something. That's what we associated with.
They will be drinking
cannibals.
from the skulls of their enemies tonight.
Yes,
Not a
they-
problem. Maybe a nice little gazpacho.
In reality, the majority
Gross.
of these people were not cannibals. But in 1938 or 1995, any tribal person with a bone through their nose was going to eat
Yeah.
a person. Is it fucked up that it's the same association from 1938 that we would have made 60 years later?
See the civil rights movement. That shouldn't be a fight
I was
anymore,
like,
but
wait,
it
did that
still
ever
is
happen?
very
Because
much
I've been
alive.
looking around and yeah,
Yeah, we're still facing things from back then.
you're right. I guess we don't ever move on.
No.
We just make
We're Americans.
We make a small leap forward, and then
And
we
then a
just
giant
publish a lot
leap
of
back.
books about it and act like we made we fixed it.
It's done.
Racism's over.
Ugh.
1968. No more racism.
I was like those clips. People like, this guy destroys racism with one sentence. Like, no, he didn't destroy racism. Maybe he had a good point, but racism is very much well alive in America.
Dude, that's what we need.
Sadly.
That one guy who says
Sadly.
one sentence and then, oh, well, everybody's better now.
Did you hear the sentence he said? It was such a good sentence.
You know what? People have been trying to convince my people for 100 years that this is bad. You got it, buddy.
You got it, buddy.
Although now I guess we're more like 150 years since the
Yeah.
Civil War, so
It's rough.
God, we suck. So we see his fucking bat cave of sorts. It's a giant skull on the
It's a
side of the
skull
mountain.
cave, dude.
There's no hiding. Like, it's so out there that you it's not hidden in it. It's a
Anybody
giant
going by
white-
is like, have we checked that skull?
We hear that this man is here named the Phantom. We need to find him. Have you checked the giant cave that looks like a weird melty skull?
I didn't think to go in that, actually. The Phantom that has the skull ring and the skull belt. I
the
thought he
skull
would
on his shoulder?
The skull on his shoulder. I thought he would have been somewhere else.
Yeah, it's weird.
Interesting.
Maybe it's like it is covered, but since we're in the secret, we can see it.
G-
Kind of
gi-
like
give me
I love
one
you.
Give me one line that describes that, though.
Yeah.
Instead of it just being like, here's a skull, no one saw it. He's like, oh, you can only see it when you're
I mean, it is
a
like
true
an
believer.
obscure
Some
island,
bullshit.
I guess.
When
yeah,
you're in
but
on the
Remar
secret.
found it.
Yeah. I killed that man.
I killed that man.
We're getting to the fun one.
He's
It's
dead
actually
already.
right
You
here.
know how I know?
It's actually right here. So Catherine Zeta-Jones brings the other skull to, or the first skull to
Drax.
Drax. No, this is the second skull. He had the first skull already.
No, we don't
right?
have the second skull yet.
No, this is you're
No,
right.
this is the
I'm all
first.
confused
Yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
jumped ahead to the meeting. Sorry. So she brings him the skull and she talks about how she polished it with toothpaste. Weird.
It's a stupid, fun delivery.
And
Where
he's
it's like,
like,
look how it shines up.
okay.
I shine it with toothpaste. He's walking away like, toothpaste, huh? Okay.
It's like this is an
Crazy
ancient artifact
broad.
of power, and you polish it with
you
toothpaste.
put toothpaste on it.
Sounds
Got it.
like a woman thing. 1930s.
Yeah. Maybe it's just like she knows how to polish a skull.
Oh, she can polish some domes.
She can chrome that dome. No problem.
But James Remar he's like, why the fuck is Drax asks why this girl is back, Diana Palmer.
Something that you couldn't count on.
Why didn't you fix it? Yeah, and he's like, well, because there was a man that stopped us. It's a man that I've already killed. And I didn't write it down word for word, but he says, I killed him once, but he isn't dead. And he just looks at him, Drax looks at Remar and goes, that doesn't make any sense. And it's in his fucking Treat Williams delivery. So, like, everybody else is being, like, melodramatic serious about stuff, and he is just goofing along. He's like, that's stupid as fuck.
He's such a fun fucking villain.
I
He
love
really
it.
is.
He's radio. You know, and of course you're looking at him too, so he's got the face for it and his facial expressions that we'll get to with the second skull. But just the whole time, his deliveries are spot fucking on.
You know who he reminds me of in this movie is Carrie Owens in Princess Bride.
Yeah,
like that same kind of
absolutely.
attitude. And
Yes.
like, probably Carrie Owens in a lot of things, but Princess Bride's the one that comes to mind.
the charming smile of
Yeah.
Carrie.
As
The
you
mustache.
Yeah, as you wish. Oh, the mustache is great too.
It's kind of he has a mustache from Princess Bride, right?
Dwed Pirate Wobbits.
So there is something that we did like glance over when when Phantom saves Diana. And he's like, "You're Diana Palmer," and she's like, "How the hell do you know my name?"
Oh, and even before that, we didn't talk about it. The captain of the colonials, the colonizers. He's like, "Oh, Diana," and he's like, "Diana Palmer."
Yeah.
Oh, how do you know that name? Oh, I've heard it from somewhere before.
I've heard it.
I've heard it.
Somewhere.
My boy servant, he talks. He really keeps up on current events.
He's pulling a picture off his cave wall of her.
Right.
Oh, sorry, that's from Magoo Hand.
So he goes, Billy Zane is now going to New York.
Okay, yeah.
So speaking of when you said he sounded just like this, he looks like Christopher Lloyd in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. He's got the little tiny glasses.
Oh, he does.
He's got like a hat on, but it's not like a normal size
It's
hat.
an
It's kind
oversized
of a bigger,
black
brimmed
fedora
hat.
that's tipped down on both ends.
Yeah, and he's wearing a fucking trench
Small
coat.
sunglasses.
Yeah.
Small sunglasses.
Yeah, he's got the little tiny Stone Cold
When I
sunglasses.
went to New York, I was dressed just like this.
And he's getting a ride from this cabbie he's in Ace Ventura.
That's how I know him. Guado from Ace Ventura.
But I saw him on the IMDb before when we started the movie, and I didn't recognize him because in his picture he's wearing like glasses and he's older and stuff.
Sure.
But it just credited him as Al the cabbie, and I was like, yeah, that guy looks like a cabbie.
Yep, he
plays a cabbie.
His face
He
is a
does.
New York cabbie.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
He's also a bus driver. Who doesn't last long in Speed.
Oh, okay.
Like the bus that blows up at the very beginning where Anthony Hopkins is setting off like I'm sending a message. He's the bus driver. He shoots the shit with Keanu. It doesn't matter. But yeah, he's so in New
Dennis
York,
Hopper.
he's what did I say?
Anthony Hopkins.
Oh, definitely Dennis Hopper.
I had to think. I was like,
oh man,
Anthony Hopkins wasn't in that movie.
baby
Fine.
wants to fuck.
Oh, wow.
But so in New York, he's a cab driver. In LA, he's a bus driver.
Yeah.
In
Look,
Oklahoma, I wonder what he does.
All I'm
Drives
saying is he's
something.
union.
Yeah, this
so
dude is pro-union.
Everywhere he goes, he can be a driver.
There you go.
Yeah. All
He's
right.
got the
Smart.
card.
Transportation union.
But he ends up being kind of important. He ends up being basically
Anthony Hopkins. Why would I say
His
that?
name is Al.
they both got hop in them.
God, don't defend me.
His name is Al.
Real quick, speaking of Dennis Hopper, I tell you guys know, but I gotta tell everybody in the internet world. Just watch Super Mario Brothers, the 1993 one, on 35 millimeter at the Loft. And it's just as awesome as I remember. It's actually more awesome than I remembered. Dennis Hopper is so fucking good in that movie.
The dude doesn't collect a paycheck. He earns it.
Yeah.
Every time.
By the way, the guy introducing the movie also definitely mentioned that Dennis Hopper had made more than one comment about how he wanted to kill the people who made that movie because it was so bad. And I'm like, if Dennis Hopper says he wants to kill you, he's not being alliterative like a lot of us. Oh, I'm going to kill that guy. I don't think that's the right word, but you know what I mean.
He's not being facetious.
Yeah,
he wants to murder you.
They had to look over their shoulder for the rest of his life.
He's trying to figure out how to murder you.
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
So the cabbie's name is Al, and Batman's person is Alfred.
Yep.
All right. We have a
mean-
rich white guy.
Yep.
No parents.
No parents.
I don't think Billy
New
Zane's
York-
necessarily rich. I mean, I guess technically he is. He has that bag of sapphires and stuff. But
He
in
went
the
to
world
tips
college.
this guy. He
but
tips
in
this
the
guy
world
in
he
opals.
lives in, there's money. I think he's just taken care of because he's the Phantom.
At some point when I think we already missed it, but
Because he tries to pay him with Bengali bucks.
But yeah. But when Homegirl goes to his lair, he it goes through a box of gold
Yeah.
to find black pearls to give her.
Okay, so
And
I
even
guess-
the captain's like, "Oh, he's giving her the pearl thing again." This
Oh,
dude
shit.
has tried this move, and he has the pearls, so they've all died.
well, we find out he needs a son eventually.
Yeah,
Yes.
we know. So he's tried to
Hopefully, he's got sun juice in those
sow
balls,
his
So-
wild oats.
There's only one person allowed to see his face, and that's the person he's going to marry.
and also, Gumar or whatever that guy's name was. Because the people he works
Garan.
with, you have to see his face.
Have they?
I don't know.
Because the entire time he's in that cave, he's wearing the outfit.
I guess that's fair.
We only see him out of the outfit,
And they all
as
call him
Kit
the-
Walker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I mean, a bunch of people see his face, but that's him in disguise, technically. Yeah, so that's where we're at anyway. He calls himself Kit Walker. I guess that is his name.
Yeah,
Because he
That's the
went to
name
college
he
with
used at
Diana.
least when he was in college and stuff, but before he became the Phantom. Oh, you know what? I wasn't gonna mention that guy Wells, the guy that's trying to court Diana
Oh
because
my
it doesn't come to
God.
anything. But I have to
Much to
mention
my
him.
chagrin, I wanted this guy to get fucking punched in the face so
He
bad.
has a very punchable face.
Well, and he's
Thank
just a-
you.
he's
It's
just a-
quite punchable.
It is quite
I'm not
punchable.
being rude
No.
on this. He's quite punchable.
That mouth right here.
And the way he's like, he grabs Diana. I always forget her name. I don't know why. Diana. And he's like, "How do you know our Diana? Get your fucking
Well,
hands
yeah,
off me."
earlier
Don't
he forced a
touch
kiss
me.
on her, and she looked like she was like, "The fuck, bro."
And what does he say after? In the kitchen when she's making the mayo sandwich,
What
he
is that?
lays a big kiss on her. And he's like, he fucking just grabs an olive with like a fork or something. He's like, "You can't deny the magic there." Dude, her face denied that magic, bro.
What?
That was magic like the Amazing Jonathan.
The face you made when she put a spoonful of mayo on this piece of bread is the face she made.
Do you want this podcast to have me throwing up? Keep
Yes.
talking about spoonfuls of mayo.
I'm gonna put vanilla pudding in a
Stop.
mayonnaise jar and just eat it in front of you.
Stop. God damn it.
Better be a real clean mayonnaise jar. Otherwise, you're about to get a mouthful of vanilla mayonnaise.
This joke's on me. This is disgusting.
But I only have to mention him because he is the one who tells them that he knows where the jade skull is, which is
Yeah.
the second skull. Because they're
yeah.
all in the I think it's her uncle's office,
Yeah.
and they're talking about the skulls. And
Oh,
he's
I've
trying to
seen
act
that
like
before.
he's like casually interested and not investigating it, even though it's clear that he is.
And people even ask, like, what's your interest? He's like, oh, just,
well, she asks
stuff.
him a couple of
I'm a
times,
collector.
and we find out at the end that she knows at least that he's Kit.
At some point. We don't know when she found out.
I
but
mean, he doesn't hide his voice. The mask barely covers his face. Like, he's got a I guess it's the Superman thing, except for he's wearing the glasses when he is the hero because he's got the eye mask on.
I think it's more 1938. They're like, well, he's not wearing a purple suit in front of me, so he probably isn't the type to wear a purple suit.
Yeah.
I don't see him being that kind of
He doesn't
weirdo.
seem like the Joker. And I appreciate pacing this movie, by the way, but I really hated this guy's like, oh yeah, I've seen that skull, and they're like, oh really, where? And he's like,
Let me think. Let's see. It was my 12th birthday. Mummy and Daddy rented out a big room. It's a big room.
A big
It
room.
was the Museum of Natural History or whatever, and it's like
As
that
he
is a
bites
very
on his pipe.
convenient and stupid story moment.
Yeah. And again,
fuck
like, I
yourself.
forgot this guy was in this movie.
Yeah, I wasn't going to mention him at all. And then I
But-
saw my note that he was the one that knew where the skull was.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. They find the skull, we could have said, but still, it was such a stupid, like, it was my 12th birthday. I'm like, first of all, I don't remember my 12th
Well,
birthday.
and then we get to the reason why Billy Zane and the Phantoms couldn't find this skull. Because it's in a museum in the wrong era,
era,
in
wrong-
the wrong continent.
Yeah.
That is
like-
the stupidest fucking reason. No wonder it's lost. It's been misplaced. It shouldn't be in this part of the museum. The museum's not that fucking big,
It's
bro.
a jade skull. It's in a museum. You should be able to
I'm
find
pretty
a
sure-
jade skull in a museum.
Also, it's like the Museum of World History or something. I'm pretty sure this was like a nativity scene. I don't think museums have.
Well,
this.
you don't know that baby Jesus was greeted with gold, frankincense, and jade skulls.
And Jade Skull.
It's in scripture, I'm pretty sure.
That's actually what frankincense is. I've always wondered.
So this is also
picture
the
of
time.
a wise man with a jade skull.
This is
I want to see the
They
baby.
brought him one. Each brought him one of the skulls so that he could take over the world.
Green, frankincense, and myrrh.
Treat Williams as Jesus
Truth
Christ.
Williams?
Treat Williams as Jesus Christ.
so this is
I
also
would watch the fuck out of that, dude.
This is
Good.
also
Sorry, I'm just thinking like the Last Temptation of Treat. 3 days later, I came.
all right. This is also at the same time that's happening about the fucking conference thing where Treat like throws a spear.
Yeah.
And he tells the
Yeah.
constable, he's like, we're gonna dig the constable. What's his name?
The guy that's in head,
Chief of
commissioner
police or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, we'll make it to where you can break in tonight. And he's like, we cannot wait till tonight. We're doing it right now.
Oh, I'm too excited to wait.
Exactly. He's
and
like,
I would be mad at
Okay.
this bad guy because, like, dude, calm down and wait. But it's Treat. He's like a little kid, like, oh, I can't wait. I'm too excited. I'm
and
like,
he
all
doesn't
right.
fail anywhere. There's only one time he fails. He gets what he wants when he wants.
The really funny
Earlier
part
he
about
said-
this is though is that he's waited to get this skull, and then the dead mobster now is the one that was like, well, you only have one skull. You said you need three, and he's like, yeah, but if you have two, they tell you where the third one is. He's like, right, but you
Once
still have
again-
one skull, and he's like, I know where the second one is. If you're so excited to get it, wouldn't you have already had it?
Yeah.
You've known where it was?
Yeah, you should start this movie with it.
But yeah, when Billy Zane she's like, well, I can ask my dad, and he knows the guy who runs the museum. And it'll take a couple of days.
She's looking down, trying to like mathematically figure out how to. And here comes Billy Zane with a stanchion, just like, you know what? I'll get it right now, bitch.
He's like, and crash.
Dude, he smashes that thing, and people look at him. There are no security guards. Like
Right?
I kept waiting for people to come up and be like, stop.
Well,
with guns.
1938. I think our police had less firearms on them.
Well, also this is
They were more willing to beat minorities
they didn't
instead
have
of shoot
military
minorities
hardware like they do now.
Yeah. Well, we're talking the heyday of police beating minorities because you could do it over and over. Not get caught, not get in trouble.
Now they just get caught and still don't get in trouble.
Now they get caught and not in trouble.
No, this is. I think
Now
it's
they shoot to
because
kill.
the chief of police has all the security guards and police because he's there. Drax is there, and so he had already taken everybody out. So Phantom is able, or Kit Walker is able to.
Kit Harington grabs this jade skull. He's super Kit Harington. Is that what I said? As soon as Kit Walker, Texas Ranger, grabs this skull, he looks back and there's the goon squad, if you will. Like all the Goonies are there, just pointing guns at him, and he's like, "Oh, bother." He's not British, but oh, bother.
And Drax takes it and gets his like maniacal villain moment where he's first of many. I mean, he's been maniacal, but this is the big one.
Now the public sees him as a villain.
The two skulls, he puts them in a bag, and the bag starts to smoke while he's talking. And I think it's Quill is like,
oh, real quick before there though, I hate backtracking, but like I do love that all these people are watching. Him being held at gunpoint, Kit Walker, and he's like, nope, there's sandwiches and cakes being served in the American history wing of the, and everyone's like, I'm just happy to not be held hostage.
Cakes and sandwiches.
Did he say finger sandwiches? I fucking love finger sandwiches. I hope it's got a little cucumber salad on it. It's really refreshing.
I was led to believe there'd be punch and pie.
Excuse me, I was led to believe there'd be punch and pie.
Yeah, he puts the skulls end up going together, and like. Of course, they were in the bag for like 5 minutes, and then they start smoking, and then they needed to warm up to each other,
I did enjoy, though, that everyone's like, whoa, what's happened to the bag? And this dude just reaches in, old Treat Williams reaches in and grabs it. I'm like, I might have one of my henchmen do that.
Yeah.
Just in case it burns me fingies.
Yeah.
But nope. The hell be damned. Fingerprints be damned. This guy's going full Kevin Spacey on 7.
Yes.
He wants his fingerprints burnt off.
And it's a massive scene. Like, he puts these skulls together. I mean, it's the stupid, like, low budget. Like, there's like, oh my God, what's happening? But all the camera does is just whip around.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the windows do end up start smashing, but at first the camera just like tilts at a Dutch angle and then whips. Nothing moves. There's no explosions. There's no fire. There's no smoke at the beginning. It's just a camera at a Dutch angle whipping back and forth. They're like, what's happening?
It's all religious stained glass. And every time one pops, I don't remember all of them, but Treat Williams is like, he's like, oh yes, oh look at that, the power.
If only we had the visual moment, because he just has this goofy ass look. He's just like, yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this.
He clearly is saying something is happening. Also, he says it like 5 times.
He says, "Show me the power" a bunch of times too.
He's like, something's happening.
So this movie's 1995. Nobody since this does a better job of following a fake entity. Like, his face is working
right on spot. And
it is
he's
working.
connecting with
and
something.
every time he's looking like up left with the smirk, I'm like, oh, he's looking at something.
Yeah.
He sees something, man. Fucking Snack Williams.
He would have been great in the age of CG.
He is a treat.
He is a treat and a snack.
He would have been great in the age of CG because he can look at shit that isn't happening and react to it.
But nobody else would. It'd be him and like 4 actors, and he's doing a great job, and they're just all like, da-da-da.
There was a little thing here. So after the skulls show them where because conveniently there's a world map hanging on the wall.
Yeah, what happens if there's not a map, dude? Does this thing just drill through walls until it finds like a globe or something?
Map.
Hope there's not a school in the way.
Okay, students. So as you'll see here, we have the continent of.
Maybe that's why it was like he was turning in circles or whatever, because the skulls were looking for a map.
Yeah, the skulls were like leading him, but they.
But what happens if the map's not in that room?
And the skulls burn a spot on this map though, and I'm like. And it turns out to be an uncharted island, so it's fine.
Sure.
But I'm sitting there watching it burn it, and I'm like, well, now you don't know what. Like, it's a chain of islands. Like, which one was it on? You just burned off 4 islands off this map.
We'll never find it now.
And the laser effects are pretty cool. I mean, it's the typical thing we've seen a lot up to this point, because this is 95, of like kind of like the Ghostbusters or the Last Dragon, where it's that drawn on like laser effect. It's not CG. We do get some CG in the movie.
It's not good.
It's not good, but it's 95 and it's not Jurassic Park. So, but they're like,
looks better than Spawn. The end of Spawn.
Is that going to be our like marker?
It is
look
for
better
me.
than Spawn?
The end of Spawn, because I actually like that movie. But the end, when it has that demon in the hellscape, it's like, this is a screensaver.
I mean, it's Time Cop level.
Yeah. No, Time Cop's better.
When that guy melts?
Yeah. Time Cop is better than the end of Spawn.
I don't remember the end of
CG
Spawn.
I feel like
I'll fucking
I
YouTube
feel like
it right
the blob
now.
from Time Cop stretched out is the demon.
Talk
from
about
Spawn.
activist Ron Silva.
Yes, Ron Silva.
Yeah.
Activist?
Activist.
Is he an activist?
Oh, hell yeah.
For what?
Check his word. The Earth.
Oh, cool.
The guy was a big environmentalist.
Oh, okay.
That was his big thing. Like
Before he touched himself from another time and then turned into a blob.
Well, that's a government conspiracy. They made him touch himself to get rid of the activist Ron Silva.
The government. That's the
No,
government.
the guy actually
that's
spent
the, that's
a lot
the
of his
government's MO, by the way. They get people and they make them touch themselves.
It's working on me, pal. They must have something that comes in my like window at night. It's like, oh man, I gotta start touching myself.
But I didn't know that. That's interesting. That's cool.
That's good for
Good
him.
for him.
Right?
Good for us, maybe.
Good. Well, it's good for somebody. I just like when people use their money for good things instead of, well, drugs are good things too.
I love good
Instead
drugs.
of buying and selling children on
Yes,
islands.
I don't like that.
No, that's not good.
If you've used your money for Epstein Island, you might be a Hollywooder.
So, but yeah, I did have just a quick note where he's like, "Who are you?" to Billy Zane after the skull tells him where they're going and stuff. He's like, "Who are you?" He's, "I'm Kit Walker."
Who's Kit Walker?
Me.
And this is another scene, by the way, where people don't have handcuffs. So you got bad guy 1 and bad guy 2 holding Billy Zane's hands. I think the actor's like, you want to just hold his hands?
Yes.
The director's like, I get the handcuffs. We can't find the handcuffs. I can just hold his hand.
Fingers interlaced. They're all swinging their arms together.
Dude, you can hold my wrist. Don't be so creepy. No, the hand is safer. Trust me. Swing me.
Why do you keep using your pinky finger to tickle my palm?
I picture Billy Zane just like, all right, 1, 2, 3, swing. If you're going to make me hold your hand.
He's taller than them, though.
Oh, come on. Don't take this away from me, Whitney.
I can push up.
Fuck.
They
They can stand on tables. Damn it.
They're leading him away up the staircase, and in this perfect moment on the staircase for him to donkey kick these two men.
I've never seen
it's
this ninja move. The fake fall forward and reverse double donkey back.
Yeah, he donkey kicks these dudes. He's got the dumbest moves for a superhero because he donkey kicks them, and then in a moment here, he just like leg locks them with his head, which is like a move I've seen the Black Widow do.
Sure.
But it's more like karate based. This is just like his legs come out of the side of a wall like scissors. And grab these guys around the neck.
I found a me-sized hole. I'm going to lay in it until somebody comes by me and just kick my feet out like this.
Yeah, he donkey kicks them and he runs into this room that has no exit. And then they go into the room to find him.
So I made this joke while watching it. I was like, man, they're just going to find an empty trench coat and a dude in a purple suit. And then it happened. But it wasn't just his suit. It was all of his clothes.
Yeah.
But they never really, I mean, I guess they don't verbalize making the connection that he's Kit Walker, but I guess it doesn't matter.
Nobody does except her.
He doesn't go back to being Kit Walker at any point after this, I don't think.
Well, not on
No, he doesn't. No, yeah, that's correct.
This goes into like him having to run through the zoo and all that stuff.
Wow, yeah,
and,
so
like,
Kit Walker's just dead now.
Yeah.
And we've got the Phantom from here on
he'll come
out.
back at some point because he's got to court Diana there, but
But as far as these bad guys are concerned, he died on the ship. It's just funny that they're like, man, look, there's a empty pile of clothes and a purple guy trying to put my head between his legs.
He must be Spider-Manning it, right?
There's
And
no
keeping the
collection.
suit on underneath.
Yes.
It has to.
Because it was like less than 20 seconds and he's in this skin-tight outfit.
And he just had to
Yeah.
put the mask on.
Yeah.
Yep. Also, I'd like to watch Billy Zane change into a skin-tight outfit.
And when he's running,
Bald or otherwise.
he goes through, or they lock him. James Remar locks him in this room, which has a lock on the outside, which is strange.
Well, you
It's
know,
like the machine room
They've
for the
already dabbled
elevators.
in child labor and child kidnapping.
I guess
so
that's it. It's like a boiler room. They're like, no, you stay in here and work.
Right?
We're talking 1938 white people. You lock a minority in while they power your whatever device.
I'm surprised there weren't people on bikes just running these elevators.
Can we please get a break? I'm so tired.
So he escapes through the elevator shaft. Like, as soon as he looked down the elevator shaft, I was like, "Your horse isn't down there, buddy."
Dude, don't try it, man.
But he has the scene that you said was in the trailer, which I think you're correct. As I remembered the scene once it happened. I remembered it
as soon as I saw him look down the elevator shaft. I had the memory of him for unphysically possible. And that's not a good sentence, but it is unphysically possible for him to squeeze his guns tight enough to slow him down on this greased up cable.
He has them
I don't think
crossed.
he's necessarily using them to slow himself down so much as he's using, I mean, slow himself down as opposed to falling.
Sure.
But like, he's got the guns and he's using his boots, so it's just like bracing himself because he doesn't have gloves. So like,
he doesn't burn his hands.
Yeah, all right.
But as he was doing this, I was like, well, those guns are useless. But it doesn't matter because he drops them.
You would defend him.
While he's sliding down, and these bad sparks are flying, these bad CG sparks, and his boots are smoking, and the elevator starts to come down, and so he ditches the guns and like jumps off. But of course, he's gonna have that Indiana Jones moment, right? He's not reaching back for a hat though. He just waits.
Yeah.
He's like, let's let the elevator get a little closer.
It's Indiana Jones mixed with speed. That elevator's going to shear my ankles off just in time.
Yeah, and he slides right out of
And
there.
tumble rolls
and he
in.
runs through this lobby, and people don't even really notice that there's a man in a purple suit.
Dude, 1938, people were very concerned about everything because they had no TV, you had no Facebook, you had no Wi-Fi. You were concerned about everything. Nowadays, with everything I just mentioned, you'd be like, is that a purple guy? Is that a head-to-toe purple guy in a suit?
If a guy jumped out of an elevator shaft in a purple suit and ran away, everybody would be like, phones out.
Yeah, yeah. You're gonna take no. You'll never guess what I saw today. I don't believe you. Well, here's a video.
He tries to get Al to drive him when he leaves the place. He's like, hey, follow that car, because the bad guy.
Al thinks
my
he's getting
money. Here
robbed
we
though.
go.
Yeah. Al, he's like, I'm a friend of Kit Walker's, and Al's like, you could take my money, but don't kill me. He's like, well, I gave you a bag full of sapphires. Fucking drive me, man.
And then the cop finds him in the
cop
car.
tries to get him.
But
so
we
he
joke
runs
though.
away.
This guy's he's a New York cabbie. He's just happy this guy has his pants on. He's not.
Well, that's
cranking
this
it.
next scene too, when he finds him at the zoo. So he runs away from these cops and he hides in the zoo. And I only want to mention it because he hides in the tiger cage, and the tigers the tiger tries to attack the cops. And they're like, well, he's clearly not waiting here.
The actor Tiger, by the way, wants to eat these cops.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
this is some non-acting. This
Yeah.
is just a ferocious.
He doesn't
kitty.
like uniforms.
Yeah.
And and they walk away, and then the Phantom comes out of the shadows because he's at one with the jungle, and so the tiger.
So maybe
respects
one
him.
superpower besides seeing your dead dad.
Yeah,
which,
I
what a
think
shitty
the
power.
implication is that he's just such a good person, like a pure person,
Yeah.
that animals can feel that he's good, and
my uncle.
they
was
knew
a
that
tiger.
those were corrupt cops. So
My uncle was a tiger. My aunt was an ostrich. You've heard this story before.
there was also a sign on this cage that was like $3 fine for entering this area or something.
feeding the animals or
Yeah,
something. We
I
couldn't
was
make
like,
it out.
I was like, $3 fine. I didn't do the math. I mean, I guess that's like $500 now, but
1938. $3 equals now 1,000.
something like you could buy a house.
might not
is
be
all I'm
far
saying.
If you guys know,
I bought this
email
car
us.
for a nickel.
But the cabbie finds him at the zoo. Which I mean, he decided to believe him. How do you know he's at the zoo? Question mark. It's fine. Let's keep the movie moving.
Yeah. Oh, they do a good job of this.
So he's driving him. He's chasing. He's not chasing those guys anymore. I don't know why he goes to the docks. He knows that's where
knows
they're
that's
going.
at-
Oh, he heard it on this police radio. He has.
Yep, Al, the cab driver,
Yeah.
he's like, I know where you're going, dude. I
Yeah.
heard that shit on my police scanner.
But
By the
he-
way, illegal.
not in 1938.
Wow, nothing's illegal in 1938.
Only booze. Oh no, it wasn't anymore, right?
Not yet.
So,
No, not anymore.
Yeah.
What was that? 19.
When did it? Is 19?
It started in
1920, and it went for like a lot
It
longer.
went for
than-
11 years.
It was only 11
Fucking
years.
Goddamn Carrie A Nation. She's one of the women that was all about.
Oh, fuck that bitch.
Yeah, no, she would.
You know what she
take a
needs to know?
hatchet and bust
you know what
up
she needs to
barrels
know?
at bars.
That booze is what carries a nation.
Yeah.
You know how many
Yes.
taxes we get from that shit?
Well, what's funny is her name was Carrie Nation, and then she added the initial and then spelled her name Carrie's and like lift and pick up. And it's all because her
Hate her.
drunk husband gave her syphilis, is why she was against alcohol. It's a whole thing.
I hate her.
Yeah, me
I
too.
don't even know her.
No, you don't need to. You know that she was against alcohol.
Yeah, we've been watching Boardwalk Empire, and I just love that it's just like just speakeasies, and people are like, no, this isn't a bar. Sip. And the cops are like, people are there. They're like, no, you're clearly serving alcohol. And they're like, no, we don't serve alcohol here.
Do you know what Prohibition did? It made
Created
it
the
okay.
mafia.
Well, no,
Yeah.
it helped them. No, it just made it okay. Overnight. Beer went from a nickel to $1 or $2, and
Yeah.
everyone said thank you. That's what Prohibition did. You didn't stop people from drinking. You didn't stop people from drinking. You just made certain people rich.
Speaking of being drunk, he's talking to his ghost dad in the back of this cab.
Oh, when I first saw this dude, I was like, man, I wish you were Peter O'Toole. He was drunk as shit.
No, it was just McGoohan.
Just big old goo hands.
But he's in there back talking, and Al's like looking at him in the mirror, and he's just like, whatever, man. And then he starts asking Al a question, and he's like, oh, you talking to me now?
It's my turn.
But this is also where we find out, he's like, yeah, I met a guy that wore a belt just like mine. Describes him, he's like, yeah, that guy killed me. He said he was going to lead me to the sang brother, and he stabbed me in the back, literally. Well, maybe I'll get your belt back for you. Step on it, Al. Why you
by the way, 3 times in 2 minutes, they say step on it. Yeah. Fucking Drax says it to Quill. Phantom says it to Al and then talks to his dad, and his dad's like, tell that motherfucker to step on it. And I'm like, he just did.
Are you talking to me?
So, yeah, they fly away to this uncharted island. The Phantom hides on the pontoon there, and just... I don't know a lot about physics.
It's a miserable ride.
But I feel like that's real rough. Yeah.
Well, also, this plane's not going as high as what we go to now. But still...
But it's still the air's thin. It's cold.
It's still going to be cold and windy.
And he swam
to it. You got to hold on fucking tight for hours.
He swam to it in a New York harbor, which is already cold.
So you're soaking wet.
Jumped on it soaking wet, and then was flying through the air like, this is fine.
Part of the Phantom's lame powers, like, your clothes will never be wet.
The Phantom limb, because my leg had to be taken off. So then they get attacked by ninja pirates.
Dude, these are ninja pirates. Like everybody somersaults into the scene.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They like flip into the scene, but then there's like a Cockney guy or something. I guess that's an old pirate thing, right? They're always a mix of like nations and whatever, because they'll take anybody, right? So.
Well, the old privateer thing is once they conquered a ship, it's like you got 2 options, man. And there was actually a lot of mixed races, because if they were slaves, like, hey, we can, you can go be a slave, or you can be on our ship and fuck shit up. Like, let's fuck up some white people.
Yeah, do it.
So the Cockney guy or whatever it is, he just has the hat. That's why we.
Well, he's also got a really crooked nose. It looks like he's gonna open his mouth like, "Well, where's you all from, then, isn't it?"
It's some apples and spices or whatever they say.
She's got a rusted boat face, which is how she's got a hot body with a busted face.
Oh, that's awesome.
Rusted boat face is like is that anyway.
Okay. But she kicks this guy in the nuts. So that's number 2.
For a game of soldiers.
That second nut shot was also between the legs, like camera, wasn't it?
This one might not have been. I think this was just straight.
That's just how I see it in my head.
But this is where we get. This is where we get. I'm forgetting names. What's
Sala?
Sala, thank you. Sala and Diana are like, we should probably stick together.
Oh yeah, this guy is like, you're gonna be mine now, and she kicks him in the balls. Nope. And that's when Sala is like, hey, you know what's not great? Getting raped. We should be friends,
right?
Because she's been a bitch this whole movie. Yes. I mean, she's a bad guy.
I mean, she's been like,
Diana even points out at one point, like, you are not a nice person. Like,
have you ever tried caring about something?
Yeah, have you ever tried
like
giving
what?
A shit?
It's like, you figure it out.
She totally has a lady boner for Diana, though.
I think this chick is just moist for life, because in a great way. I'm not trying to shame anybody, because she likes Diana, but she's also really all about Billy Zane,
definitely
dead or alive. Because when before he escapes, when these bad guys have her, she's like, dibs on the body.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
What is about to happen?
She's waiting for that rigor mortis.
He's gonna get well
hung. And what is the website I can watch it on?
She's trying to recreate that scene in Clerks.
Yeah, she is.
Dead men don't talk back.
So he can only show his face to the person he's going to marry, which he now reveals, or not now, but at the end he reveals he wants to be Diana.
Yeah.
We were positing that there's definitely going to be a threesome here.
There has to be.
So does that mean that the threesome has to happen with his mask on?
Oh yeah, the mask stays on.
Does the mask have like a thing he puts? This is the way. The mask have a thing he puts over his face to make it a gimp suit? Like, is there a zipper that we can't see? And that's just like.
Bring out the Phantom. The Phantom's asleep. We'll wake his ass up then.
So we were introduced
Drax is dead, baby.
We are introduced to the great Kabai Sang, who is
played by Shao Kahn.
Yes, Shao Kahn. I have the name, and I'm going to butcher it, but I'm going to attempt because he deserves to have his name.
No, he deserves or at least a try.
Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa.
I don't think that's too bad, dude.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I just hate saying names like from other countries because I know I'm getting something wrong.
I think the fact of the matter is, though, you're trying.
Yes.
Instead of like, this is how we say it.
And it's an honest thing. You're not being a dick about it.
And he's Shang Tsung. He's a lot of things. But that the moment you see his face, if you're of a certain age, you're like, Shang Tsung!
Shang Tsung. There's almost nothing else except for a flawless victory. His soul is mine.
And Drax is trying to convince him that they should work together because Shang Tsung has the third skull. And he's got a great line. I only got half of it, the part that made me laugh. He's like, I've got a great idea. We can team up. He's like, you're the old guard of grizzled scallywags and peg-leg Pete's.
Peg-leg Pete's like insult this guy and his entire crew before you try and get him on. I'm like, all right, so here's the deal, Derrick. You represent the shitbags, the idiots, and the inbreds. I'm going to represent the white people that have money. The clean
you're the
people.
douchebags and the tweakers.
Yeah,
hey,
dude,
my shirt
basically.
says, my shirt says, "Don't be a douche canoe."
Good life advice.
So he's trying to make a deal, whatever, and then Jackie Aprile is basically like, "Fuck this, we're not doing this."
Pulls out a little ankle
pulls out
holster,
his ankle
25.
gun, and he's like, "I'm gonna fucking kill you." And then
It's
Shang
every man
Tsung
for
says
yourself,
something.
yeah.
Well, and right here though, sorry to interrupt, he gets super New York gangster.
Yeah,
He's like,
he does.
Yo, how about this?
He becomes Jackie Aprile.
Every man for himself, and I got a piece on you. And if you don't listen, you's gonna sleep with the fishes. Capiche?
Oh yeah,
The
you'll
real
really
fishes.
sleep with the fishes.
Like
yeah.
he had to just in case you
Which,
forgot.
by the way, you'll really sleep with the fishes? Is he implying that Shang Tsung fucks fishes?
No, I think it's the
He
fact
was
that
talking
you
about
are
he was
living
on an
in a
island.
fish
Yeah, because
area.
remember they're under the ocean or something.
Well,
Oh, that's right, the cave
we
is
see
under. It's
the
under
two
the sea.
pet sharks swimming
Yes.
around this, I guess, moat.
It's under the sea.
Under the sea.
So after he tells him that he's gonna sleep with the fishes or whatever,
Shang Tsung says something.
yeah, he
Shibaloo
says something
poosh.
in some kind of Asian language.
Yes.
And he's like, "What'd you say?" And he's like, "It's an old pirate saying that means fire the cannon."
I wish he would have said old jungle saying.
They blast this cannonball into Jackie Aprile, and it's a mixture of dummy and stunt person.
Yes.
I don't
Both
know.
girls
It
screech.
might be all stunt person because when he gets hit and pulled back, that could easily just be a person
Yeah.
on a wire.
True.
being
100% with a ball
pulled. And
in
then
his tummy.
when he flies rooms away and lands in the water that they came in on,
that is a
that's
dummy.
a person.
Is
When
it
we
really?
rewound it, it looked to me because we had to
You know
rewind
how I
it to
know we
watch
liked
again.
it? We watched it twice.
Yeah, we went back to watch it again, and it looked like in reverse. It looked like a person basically like jumping off something, doing a flip into the water.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
But like the way
That's
they shot
actually
it,
pretty good.
because in the slow motion version of being reversed, it looked like a person doing a somersault. So
Yeah.
Dude, it was great. I almost wanted to watch it again.
I mean,
Oh,
just
man.
a cannonball to the human gut.
yeah,
And
when
just-
he said it, he's like,
Oh.
it's an old saying, and the cannon got tilted down. I verbally was like, "Woo!"
Yeah, no, it's definitely. There's a lot of things about this movie I like. This is the highlight. This is the peak.
Which-
this is cinema.
I just finished editing the Bad Boys episode, and we are all at the end of that talking about this flaming dummy flying through the air is the greatest thing.
Oh, now I know. I know exactly what part you're talking about. It's the end. The flaming dummies just flying.
Oh, yes.
This is a little bit better than that.
It's wonderful.
It is.
There's a lot of good stunts in this movie, but I just think that was a great one.
Yeah. And didn't see it coming until he's like, it's just old pirate talk for fire the cannon. What? What did you just say to me?
So the Phantom is sneaking in while they're all talking to each other, and he's up on it. This looks like a set from like an amusement park, like pirate show.
Okay.
Yeah, this is like the small world.
Well, it's like when you're sitting in, like when they do the Water World show or whatever, like Universal or
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
it is. When you're sitting in like an auditorium and it's just a big like fish tank, like a whale tank or a dolphin tank or
It's
something.
the,
but they've got sets built in the back.
It's the leftover set from the Goonies.
I was
when
going to
they're
say it had to
on
have been the
ship.
Goonies. Yeah.
Oh, I know the name of the ship, dude. If you give me a second, I can tell you the name of One Eye Willie's ship. The Inferno. It's the back half of the Inferno where everything else is sunk. So, you know what? Now that I'm saying it, it's the descendant of, what's his fucking name, man? The character name.
The Sabai Khan or Kabai Sang.
Kabai Sang. So it's the original evil Kabai Sang ship
Yeah.
that is now on this uncharted island that
Correct.
they've turned into a playhouse.
This island is in the Devil's Vortex, they say, which is like Bermuda Triangle. Ships always disappear.
Which, by the way, old Treat Williams, when he finds out they're going to Devil's Vortex, he's telling everybody, he's like, good news! We're going to the Devil's Vortex!
He tells the police commissioner, did you hear the news? What? We're going to the Devil's Vortex. Okay.
And even like James Remar's like, what? He's like, where's your spirit adventure? We're going to the Devil's fucking Vortex!
Also, I think this is, it's also the set from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Devil's Vortex is this guy's goddamn Disneyland.
Yes, it is.
So for every set on the Pirates of the Caribbean was CG, and like this, it just looks like a
no,
cheesy.
you mean the ride? You mean the animatronic
No, I'm
ride?
talking about the movie where it's the Dead Man's Gold, where they find the fucking treasure chest of the fucking coin.
Oh, the only one I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's that. Anyways,
but
yeah,
it just
not
looks
Paramount.
Like, but it just looks like a set for like a live show.
Yeah,
it's like when you go to see the Old West show or something. Like it looks like a pre-built set.
And honestly,
because he's climbing across the mast or whatever on this ship.
Bless
you.
I think a mouse just farted.
And there's like the stage that Shell Khan is standing on, and like it's just so we're like, how do they not see a man?
No
in a
one
purple
looks
suit?
up except for Catherine Zeta-Jones looks
Sala's
up and
the
he
only
gives her
one
the
that's
old
like,
finger over the mouth, like, calm down, baby. They can hear your moisture.
So he fights all the pirates.
I could
There's
smell
some
it.
good stuff.
It kind of
Shang
reminds me.
Tsung stabs his own guy because he's like, no, this is
This
my
is
fight.
my fight.
One guy gets shoved. Like I think the Phantom or somebody, maybe it's not the Phantom because Phantom doesn't kill anybody. He shoots swords out of their hands.
We definitely see.
He
the
does
movie
have the
go,
cross arm shoot in this thing.
Yes, he
he
does.
starts out by shooting
White
his arms
fucking
crossed.
Earth!
Exactly.
That's all I could
That's
think
not how
of.
it works.
That's not how any of this works.
I would say it looks good on TV, but it doesn't.
No.
It looks stupid as shit.
But I will say that they did go out of their way to make sure, like, when he shoots, you'd never see a bad guy hold a body part.
Nope.
They're holding where their gun was being held, or where their sword was being held.
yeah, he shoots the swords out of their hands and then he karate fights them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
knocks them out.
He just knocks him
stupid.
out.
But some guy gets hit and falls on his friend, and his friend's sword goes through.
Yes.
That's pretty great.
You know what this movie's missing? Wilhelm scream right
Yes.
here.
Yeah.
Right here.
Jackie
Cannonball.
Aprile.
Jackie Aprile should have done a Wilhelm scream being shot by a kid.
There is a scream, and we went back to watch again, and we were listening.
But it's more of like
I
a
think it's the
screams.
two women. I think it's Diana and Catherine Zeta-Jones.
It's more of like a
screaming. Yeah, I don't think we get a Jackie Aprile scream.
We don't.
Yeah, and that would have been a
See, I
perfect
thought one
Wilhelm.
was Jackie and one was Sala.
Oh, I did the first time,
That's
and then when
what-
we rewinded,
yeah.
it sounds like both the females.
Because I was like, did they?
there's
put
a man
woman's-
being carried by a cannonball.
Yeah, I was like, did they make his scream a woman's scream? Because that's wonderful.
I'll tell you how I'd sound if I got shot by a cannonball.
Oh God, what movie were we watching where the guy was just like,
I know. I was just
Death
trying
Note.
to think of that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, Death Note did it, and then Stanley Tucci did it in
Yes!
Transformers.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Okay. I was like, there's something we were watching. Was it for the show? I can't keep track
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, I watched a lot of bad shit.
100%.
man.
yeah,
But
okay.
so yeah, they have their shark moat or whatever, and Shang Tsung and Billy Zane are fighting at the edge of a shark moat.
So he sees, dude.
That's my sentence for the week.
I know. I was gonna say every episode there's something that's normalized, and there it is. So Shang Tsung and Billy Zane are fighting over a shark moat, and no, Shang Tsung smells like fear on him, like sees in his eyes, like, oh, you don't want to fall down to the sharks and die.
You're not immortal. I
Maybe
know
this
your
dude is
secret.
immortal and doesn't want to be hurt.
Yeah, because if you're immortal, getting bit by a shark still
Like
gonna hurt.
even Wolverine, who regrows, wouldn't be like, go ahead, throw me to them sharks. Like,
Yeah.
no,
you know what? I
I'll-
saw a comic where Wolverine got melted down to just a skeleton, and guess what? It hurt.
Yeah.
And it
he
hurt
has
for the next
those
3 weeks
little-
when he was growing back.
Every time those claws come out, it hurts. He says
Yeah.
that. He doesn't
Yeah.
like
Fucked
pain.
up.
He just, yeah. But now we see Billy Zane's.
And conveniently, there's a chain
Dude.
just hanging over this shark tank, and you were like, Jack, you were like, I wonder if this chain is gonna have anything to do
I
with
hope
this
this
scene.
chain doesn't come to anything.
Because there's so many times that we kind of went over him, but brushed over him. But there's so many times where he like grabs a rope or shoots a rope. There's ropes dangling everywhere. They're just
Everywhere.
very helpful.
It's
Well, it's
you know
'cause the
what
rope people are helping him.
This last bit that we're about to wrap up reminds me of very Errol Flynn. You
Okay.
know, like swashbuckling sword
Yes.
fighting. You know, it's that very dramatic. It's not done as well as that, because these people didn't practice their whole life. But regardless, it's the pirate ship. It's swashbuckling. It's swinging on things. You know,
Yeah.
it's very Errol Flynn.
They
and
didn't make Paramount pay him for 3 months of training.
That's exactly right. Billy Zane's like, don't give me a couple weeks, man.
It said a year. He was lifting weights for a year.
But he wasn't holding a sword for a year.
Sorry, before he even fights Shang Tsung, he puts the women into this submarine, which is how they've been sinking these ships. That's why ships have been disappearing.
Makes sense to us.
But yeah, I don't understand. It's a very confusing thing because she says if you're going to launch us, we could explode. These are basically warheads. We'll be dead meat or whatever. And he's like, don't worry, I'll check the periscope.
We'll be fish food.
So either they're launching these submarines with torpedoes attached to them with no way to launch torpedoes, and they just have a bunch of submarines.
Yeah.
Or they didn't figure out that you could drive this submarine like every other submersible.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
there's
this
little
submarine
tiny
has
submarine.
But it has a place for people. This is clearly what I think. This is me adding things up. They still can't figure out why they can't drive it. But I think the submarine, that's probably it. She's a pilot. But the submarine, this little submarine has a way to control it. And they go out and they use the torpedoes to get rid of these ships, and then they bring the submarine back. Even though these torpedoes are just strapped on by metal, not really sure how that works. Not worried
these
about
submarines are only 10 feet long. They're
right,
tiny,
but
tiny.
They still have
don't
propellers on them. There's a way to control them.
I don't think there's a way to steer them.
So let's just say Whitney's right, though. So they have a bunch of these.
Yes.
Because every time they sink a ship, they get a new one?
Because they grab theirs, yes.
I hate it.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well,
but either way, I just love that he's like, don't worry, you won't hit anything. I'll use the periscope.
They don't have Rosie Riveter in the back just punching these things out.
You're telling me that these fucking meth head pirates are making submarines? They're breaking apart ATMs, maybe.
Launch a submarine. It sank. Turns out Jimmy the Meth Head's not very good at building submarines, dude. He stripped half the parts.
Either way, he launches this sub, and they're both in it, and
he cleverly does it while they're fighting. He's like, "Oh God, angle and
he hits the lever.
Yeah,
and the chain is still attached to it, which is his escape plan. So you see the chain running out. That's Zane's chain.
Zane's chain. Zane.
And this is when he says, he's fighting. First, he's fighting James Remar.
We did
James
glance over
Remar's like,
one
I
sentence.
killed you.
Sorry, we glanced over one sentence earlier where Shang Tsung's like, you're trying to tell me we should join together, but you don't even know about the fourth skull, you idiot.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The fourth skull.
And it barely matters except for the ending.
Yeah.
But it's like, there's a fourth skull.
Which
like,
immediately,
and
like I said, I've seen this movie 100 times, but I don't remember details.
Yeah.
It's just, as soon as he said the fourth skull, I was like, oh, the ring.
I couldn't remember if it was the ring or the belt.
Yeah.
But I was like, you have it on you.
Because the beginning scene was like, they did this ceremony and they bestowed upon him this ring.
Sure.
And
so back to him. Now he's fighting James Remar.
Yeah, he's fighting James Remar, and he's
I
like,
hate getting you off track.
No, you're good.
We needed that.
He says it's an important part because otherwise the ending doesn't make sense, which it totally does, right?
Yes, it does perfectly. This movie's flawless.
But he does have his Princess Bride moment. Speaking of that,
as you wish,
because he's fighting James Remar, and James Remar is like, "I killed you," and he's like, "No, you killed my father."
And both of us were like, "Prepare to die." Yes. Hello, my name is Kit Walker.
And
you killed my father. Prepare to die.
Even though they've been in this cave for 20 minutes now, now the skulls are like, "Hey, what's up, buddy?" And they all get together and they float to each other, which is our terrible CG.
This
and they form like a triple skull spinning.
This is the baddest graphics of the movie. Like the gunshot wounds on the tree are bad. This is worse. But I'm okay with it for the time.
It's fine.
It flies.
But they make like a skull disco ball.
Oh yeah.
He grabs onto them.
Drax grabs it.
It's
shooting
laser.
lasers. And first of all, earlier he was talking about how this unleashes all the powers of darkness and he can control the world and da. It shoots some lasers and he's like, it's so much more powerful than I thought.
I was like, what did you think it was gonna do, pal?
You shot a laser.
It's more powerful than the sun. I don't think you know how the sun works, guy.
Right?
Quill yells to him. He's like,
over here.
Hey, over here. Huh? Poof. James Remar turns into a vaporized cloud of fucking bad CG ash that just disappears before it hits the ground.
Hey, dude, by the way, don't inhale. That's how you get Remar.
Oh.
He's going to be inside of you.
What does Vietnam have to do with any of this?
Well, I'm not saying about literal connection.
That's all I thought of because he turned into ash and Billy Zane had to.
I did not watch my friends turn into ash for no fucking reason.
Billy Zane had to have had fucking Remar in his beard, like the dude.
Oh, I got Remar all on me. It's like Ash Wednesday up in this bitch.
Billy Zane doesn't have a beard.
I know.
Well, he's got the
I'm
perfect
making
amount of stubble.
a Big Lebowski reference, and the dude has a beard.
I know. I'm just being an
Plus,
asshole.
Billy Zane with a beard would be fucking epic.
He can't grow it.
He can't grow hair. Nobody said anything about a beard.
Well, that's hair.
Head hair.
Does he have alopecia?
He's got a brain disease.
All right.
I want him in a beard.
You know what? Is he just so smart that his hair kit doesn't stand a chance?
That might be it.
He is
the
Lex
thing
Luthor.
He is so sexy that if he had hair, he would own the world.
Oh, okay. So it's like how the Irish invented whiskey.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't take over the world.
Exactly.
So this is the part where Billy Zane was like, I was entrusted this ring.
Yeah,
right?
he says, you forgot about the most important thing, the fourth skull, and I know where it is.
I've always known where it is. Really?
I just didn't know.
I didn't understand until right this
I've worn
second.
it for protection, so it's like a condom.
Yeah.
I've been wearing this condom for 30 years.
Oh, God. Oh, the stank of
He
that
just
freaking
pees
crank.
until it overflows out
I
of
feel
it.
like it.
What?
You made yourself sick on that one, Pally.
It could only be like 6 years, right? Because I'd assume his father was wearing
he's
it.
only, he's
So
been wearing the
condom has been handed down
Yeah.
from father to son.
It was his father's condom.
This dick disgusting.
And you don't take it off until you're ready to show someone your entire self, you know?
your
the woman you're
Magoo
going to
hands.
marry.
I can't take this skull off until I show my vinegar strokes.
So Drax tried to shoot him with the skull lasers.
The Schwartz.
Yeah,
The Schwartz.
yes, and we
The
get a Schwartz battle. He puts his ring up, and the lasers
your
hit
Schwartz
each
are bigger
other,
than mine,
and
see?
they do the back and forth laser thing. And I guess you guys said you did not remember this. This whole scene has been ingrained in my memory since childhood.
You could have offered me $500 to tell you how this movie ended. And I'm like,
Tell you.
fuck, dude.
He runs away on a horse.
Yeah, is there a white horse involved? Do I get half the money?
They have their laser, like their Schwartz battle, and of course Billy Zane's Schwartz is bigger than his, so it dominates him. And this is the fucking greatest. So
Dying words.
Drax is leaning. They have
He's
him on like a harness so that he can lean completely diagonal.
He's doing the
45
Michael
degrees.
Jackson.
I was gonna say I was gonna say reverse Michael Jackson, but it is Michael Jackson
When he leans forward.
Yeah, is that Smooth Criminal?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Drax is just leaning on the power of this. The power of the skull compels
he's
you.
trying to use it to push more laseriness.
Your mother sews socks and milk.
I don't know what the line was.
The word?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Okay, yes. So the lasers are coming, and it goes into the skull, and he can feel the
But
power.
he
and
doesn't
that's what
say
he does.
unbelievable like he's being overpowered. He says unbelievable like he's feeling this power.
He's
just
impressed with the power.
Unbelievable.
Because he gets this moment of feeling all four skulls together. And yes, he is immolated.
Yeah.
It's like
A ball of flame.
Yeah, Quill turned into a poof. This guy explodes into a ball of flame and lava.
Yeah.
Nothing left but of this guy except dust.
Also,
And the skulls are destroyed too.
yeah, like, is that what happens?
were they?
The skulls are
I
destroyed?
mean, he's holding them and he explodes and
And
everything's
they're gone. Okay, I guess you know what? They don't come up. So yeah.
Yeah.
Skulls are
Which
gone.
I mean is probably a good thing.
Why didn't you start by destroying these skulls?
They could only be destroyed that way.
Yeah.
Cool,
who
do it.
knows? Yeah, they got them all.
Have
Would
one of
you
these-
volunteer to hold the three skulls?
No, but one of these island slaves, you have an island full of people devoted to you. Ask freaking Zach, do
It's
me
like
a
the
favor
Hunger
real
Games. You just
quick.
need a tribute.
I volunteer as tribute. 3 fingers.
So he jumps into the water at the last second and grabs the chain as the ship, the torpedo sub is going away.
Another bad graphics here.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Well,
look
under the
good.
water is terrible. Yeah, he drives
Under
in
the water looks bad now, by the way.
Yeah.
2023, under the water, bad.
This doesn't look that much worse than Aquaman. Or whatever. He's on it. The terrible CG sub, terrible CG chain,
Aquaman.
and then just real Billy Zane against a green screen, just flopping with his arms in front of him, and they just
Well, he's
CG'd in the chain
climbing
and
that
stuff.
chain, though.
Yeah, and he gets to, and then the sub comes
yanking
up,
it.
and it's like, what was it? What was the movie we were watching that had that had the submarines? And they were like fake
Under
CG
Siege?
submarines, and then they became real ones.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, dude, give me a second. It was a heist one. It's a 6 Underground?
It's 6
Oh,
Underground.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's 6 Underground.
'Cause
Where they
it's-
have CG subs,
right.
even though you have
The
Real
practical
ones.
remote
And that's exactly what this
subs.
is. You have a CG sub underwater, and then you have a practical sub floating.
I kept waiting for Catherine Zeta-Jones, it's comfy in here if we have 3. Come on in. I don't just mean the sub.
When
All
he say
semen
earlier, I'll be
aboard.
right
Well, because
behind
he's
you.
like, I'll be right behind
I'll
you.
be right behind you tonight. What? What was the last part?
But
Tonight.
as he's getting away, the volcano island, or the island turns into a volcano, and it's a stuntman extravaganza. I just
Yes.
had to
It
point that
is.
out.
Oh,
There
my
are just
goodness.
people in this cave, and it's just exploding, and there are people flipping
We thought
and
it was bad
flapping.
enough when the ninja pirates flipped into the scene. Wait till you
No.
see him flip out. It's just, nobody can just exit normally. They're like, oh, triple gainer somersault right off the rails.
And Billy Zane very carefully doesn't kill anybody in this entire movie until he sinks an island full of people.
Well, that's an act of God.
There you
Some
go.
god.
It's
the dark
Billy
gods,
Zane
right?
is God.
He's my
And
God.
then we get the
I'll
end.
get on my
and,
knees and pray
you know,
to him every night.
Oh yeah, that's what you call pray. I'll do it too.
And I feel like that's the end of the movie. But then he explains to Diana in the next scene his whole history, which you've already kind of explained. And I feel like that was stuff that was maybe interspersed, and the director was like,
Just
cut
to
it,
the end.
cut it, cut it. And then at the end, he's like, you know, we need to explain
Credit
something.
to the director
Yeah.
pacing it, dude, because I didn't feel bored.
Yeah, no, and it's a perfect time to do it. He's like, so by the way, it's hands from father to son, and and my father was killed 6 years ago, and then hangs up the belt that he took from Quill.
And it shows the date.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And you're just like, okay, awesome.
I did laugh out loud at when
You did.
she's like, "Let me see your face," and this mask takes up like 15% of the face. Like you're looking at a lot of this dude's face, but then she's like, "Show me your
Kit.
face." Kit, and he's like,
Oh, got caught out. Oh my God.
You know?
It's
almost
I
like
fucked
you
around
have-
and she found out.
It's almost like you have two eyes. Ghost Dad does tell him, hey, go get laid.
Yeah.
basically.
He does.
Oh,
'Cause
that-
but
she
this
starts
is
to
also
leave.
where
She
he
starts to leave,
says,
and he's like, bro, you need to go.
because he says like, "Oh, I met a girl, yada yada," or I reconnect with a girl. And it's like, "Oh, finally, maybe I can."
I
Rest
like
after
her.
This.
He
Yeah.
says he likes her.
So this dude's gonna be at rest, or not at rest. He's gonna be a ghost until you grandson him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Grandson.
Until a
clause.
child
You
is
gotta Put
born.
it in there.
You put it in, dude. Don't pull out.
But she's
or
like,
Catherine.
he says something along the lines of maybe he impregnates both.
See which one's the stronger baby.
Exactly.
Oh, that's how we do the spinoff. They both get pregnant. One's a minute later than the other. And
Baby battle.
they're at ends with each other.
Oh, that's
Phantom baby battle.
Phantom baby battle.
isn't that Wakanda?
Well,
But so he does say to Billy does say to Diana, or Kit says to Diana, I can only show my face to the woman I'm gonna marry. Mm-hmm. And she's like, well, we'll see about that.
Yeah,
I'm
she's
leaving.
like, what if the
she's
woman
like looking
says-
behind her. She's like,
But
where's she at?
But she's like, what if she refuses? But it's very playful. But then she still gets on this plane and leaves.
Old Jungle saying, nobody refuses the Phantom semen.
Yes, that's the last one. Nobody refuses the Phantom's load.
Hey, Old Jungle saying it's not rape from the Phantom.
Episode 1, the Phantom load.
And she's like, I do vow to come back to Bulgana.
Well, I think
Yeah.
that's a voiceover.
Then he vowed to come on her back.
well,
It's
he
a
needs to come in
voiceover.
her.
It's a voiceover
Well, not
from
the first
from old
time.
Goo Hand.
Oh,
Where he's
yeah.
like, she did leave, but she vowed she would return, and blah,
Only
blah,
my
blah.
son would let someone like her get away.
And
like,
then I
no,
can-
no, she's a woman. She can decide
She
for
makes her
herself.
own decisions.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
wore pants
Almost
earlier.
as if she were an autonomous human being.
Weird.
And I love that. That was a fucking positive influence that they put in this movie. Like,
There is a lot of-
woman can be her own fucking person.
There are strong female characters in this
It's,
movie.
Yeah.
it's a weird balance.
Catherine
'cause-
Zeta and her whole pilot like
Of
flock
women.
of women pilots.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
it.
And that is, it's a weird balance because yes, there are the strong women, there are the women pilots. The Diana's kind of a strong character, kind of like I can't think of her name from the first Indiana Jones. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that chick.
God damn it.
Just that chick. It's fine.
I'm forgetting her name too.
But like her, she was strong. She wasn't really like a woman in distress until we needed the man to be a hero, and now all of a sudden she is the damsel in distress, and that's kind of what happens in this. She's strong. Catherine Zeta-Jones is strong, but it all comes down to the man having to save everybody.
Yes.
Putting you in the thing and getting you out of there.
Yep.
Whatever. But it is
Which
pretty
is why
good
that
for
had
1995.
which is why it had no controls. Yeah. Like, oh, we can't have them just get away on their own.
Nope.
yeah. I mean, it is, but it is very positive female-wise for 1995.
For the
Yeah.
time and the time period.
Yes,
Yeah.
especially
Both
the time
95
period.
and 95 reflecting 38.
Yeah.
That's a lot of numbers.
That is.
I'm not
Yes.
happy about life.
As Patrick would say, methamphetamines.
Methamphetamines. I have a bit of a math problem.
So anyway,
Got hooked on math in my
I
teens.
feel like I know where we're going here, but I obviously recommend this movie.
I think it's all around the board.
Yeah,
I think
no,
even
no.
Patrick would recommend
It's a
this.
recommend for me because it's better paced in a lot of movies now. The superhero genre now is so fucking tainted in a different way.
Yeah.
This knows what it is, and the majority of the actors know what they're doing.
Yes.
Treat Williams, that name is not a lie. That dude
He
is
is
a
a
treat
fucking
in this
treat.
fucking movie. I don't know him from anything else off the top of my head, but I will be looking him
He
up.
does play a villain in a lot of things. He's just a
I will be
person.
following his career with great interest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to go check it out. I like I said, I know Dead Heat. I don't know much else off the top of my head. I'm sure there are other things.
Yeah.
But since he looks very similar to Matthew Modine and Carrie Elwes, I could be movies I thought he was in. I thought they were in that he was in.
I mean, when he walked on set, I was like, holy shit, Private Joker got rocked.
But yeah, so we all
full
recommend this.
man.
Yeah,
Full
good
red.
stuff.
Then we get 8 thumbs up, 6 thumbs up.
6 thumbs. Well, you know, like I can put my toes up.
I put my extra thumb
Candy
up too.
doesn't have thumbs, but if she did, she would thumbs up this too. But this is the conclusion of Superhero Spectacular for 2023.
What year is it?
1938.
I swear to God, I almost said 2015.
All right, guys, we're wrapping up 2018 here. I don't see anything coming on the horizon that's going to be bad for us. We should all be out and about our houses.
Lick
for the
everybody.
next, like 5 years. Don't stop sharing drinks.
Share
Make
everything.
out with random strangers.
2020 is going to be a good year.
Throw
Share
your
straws.
masks away. There's no way that we have
Public
an
hand
embarrassing
jobs.
president.
Oh God.
Things are looking good, guys. God, I'm going to go back and
God.
talk to Jack a little bit.
A little bit.
And
Talk to that
so
guy.
this next month, we will be going into another themed month. but
I am
then-
the law.
We got a lot of themes coming up, but the next one, you keep saying I am the law, and it's not the right one.
But it's the right
It
actor.
is the right actor.
Oh, sorry.
And Rambo
I am
is the law.
Rambo.
Well, we're doing Rambo-thon for July.
Woo!
So all 5 Rambo movies in a row.
I do want to say just a quick thing, just to try and get people to email you. We
Yes.
talk about mental health movies in a fun way of there's a movie that you watch that just makes you happy no matter what. If you have those, email into us. I
Yes.
want to hear what makes you happy. I
Yeah.
want to hear your go-to, whether it's a hangover or a bad breakup or a bad day. What gets you through, man?
Dude, let us know. We'll read your
Not
letter.
everything's a bad movie.
Yeah. Yeah, we can read about it. And if it's something that you think is your mental health movie, but you also know it's kind of stupid.
Like for me,
Let us
Legend
know.
of Bagger Vance. I love that movie.
Oh
it's
my
not
God.
good.
It's not good,
It's
but
not
I get
good.
it.
Jack said that the other day. I was like, is that the one about the ghost golfer? And he was like, he's an angel and he's a caddy.
First of all, motherfucker. But also,
But he can golf.
It could be about your uncle that was a raver, and it was the legend of bagging your pants.
I thought you were going to say go.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, no.
I
If you're
Go.
listening and you've got a mental health movie, please send it in. I want
Yeah.
to read
Yeah.
about it. I
Bad
want to talk
movies,
about
worst
it.
people at gmail.com.
Definitely read it in. Also, if you just have a story you want to tell us about a movie that you went and saw, fucking
Something makes you feel good, man. I'm tired of bad shit. All
yeah.
right.
give us some.
Or if you've got stories about bad shit, make them funny.
Yeah,
You ever
true.
shit your pants in the theater? Let us know.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, we won't talk about that. No, I'm just- but yeah, so that's going to be it for this month. Again, thank you, Vasion, of course. Go check
Always.
them out. Give them money, preferably.
See them live if they're touring.
Yeah, they. I don't think they have any shows coming up.
Let us know when
We'll
they
have to
do.
talk to
we'll,
Patch.
Yeah, we'll field trip that shit.
Yeah.
Dude, go into the moon and just high-five Patch.
Great bands and worse people.
Yeah, those guys are great guys, and they gave us free music.
They deserve your
so-
listens.
They
Yes.
really do. They're really great. And it's not even my style of music, and I fucking am here for it.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
talent is talent.
Yeah.
And they're really fun to watch live. So
They
if you get a
really,
chance.
really are.
What else was there? Oh yeah, all the social medias. You know where to find us. So Bad Movies, Worst People. Find us. We're on Facebook, Instagram. What's the other one? Twitter.
You can always follow me to a bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, you find us at a bar. Look
I mean,
for
there's
me.
always a bar bottle.
I do have some cool hats available. If anybody's interested, you have to send me a message. They're not available through our merchandise. I've made a post on the social media, but they're flex fit hats made by a local company called Branded Bills from
And
Arizona.
they're fantastic hats.
Branded leather patch on them. Bad Movies, Worst People. They're really cool. So send me an email or message me on social media if you're interested. That'll be it for this week, though. I have been Derrick.
I'm always Whitney, and remember, tip your damn bartenders.
Yeah.
I'm Jack.
Good night and, go fuck yourself.
Let's go to Hard Bottle.
Let's go to Hard Bottle, bitches! And I drink from their skulls.
Yeah, that should be back in fashion. I could see drinking a minestrone out of that.
Yeah.
Gazpacho.
It's like the champagne of soups.
What was the one?
Nobody should like.
What's the one with the?
No, cold soup. Get out of here.
What's
Come
the
on,
Ricky Martin soup?
What?
Menudo. I couldn't think of what it was called.
Dude, I was racking my brain for any lyric
like
from Ricky
Colombia.
Martin. I'm like,
Shake.
I don't know. Live in La Vida Albondigas? Yeah, Menudo. That's correct. You are. You are correct, sir. Took a long way to get there, but you got on the freeway there, Derrick.
I was on the on ramp, but I almost went off that little ledge, the shoulder there, right in the front.
Nobody would maneuver over for you.
All right. Well,